Good morning, everybody. It's Friday. You made it to the end of this very, very long, very short week. I don't know about anyone else, but I am more tired and ready for this weekend, despite the fact that we had a holiday on Tuesday. It's like it never happened. Am I right?
Oh, correct.
Oh, she says with pain. She goes,
oh. Yeah. That is the
Yeah.
weekend, so I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, I'm happy about that. And it's the end of the month, which is always the best time for anybody, because you know what? Maybe, just maybe, a little bit of money left in your account.
Maybe.
It helps. It helps. All right. So the little bit of maybe potentially shit news that we'll get out of the way is that they say it might be, the cold snaps might not be over. There might be one more on Tuesday. So I went to the weather app yesterday. Sorry, I went on it on Wednesday when someone dropped this into my feed on one of the social media sites. And I was like, no. No. You know that? Oh, no. So anyway, I go on there and they say 3 degrees minimum Tuesday, but maximum 20 something. So I was like, all right, well, that's a lot of range. And I went on yesterday. They added up a different number and they'd got to 6 or 7 degrees.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know. I haven't checked today yet, but you know, maybe it's not going to be so bad.
When are we going to enjoy spring? You know, spring
That's
is
it.
to wear shorts,
Right.
the summer dresses,
Right.
you know.
They got us ready for that at school.
Yeah.
They taught us at school, like spring, you get to wear like whatever clothes you want and all that stuff. And I mean, it was so stupid because actually it didn't make a damn difference. And usually spring day was freezing, but now we're a full month down the way from the 1st of September and it's still cold.
Yeah, with snow and whatnot.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
wow, guys.
That's it. And yesterday, just while we're being boring and talking about the weather, if you live in Johannesburg and you were driving around yesterday, or you just went outside for like 5 seconds, dust, pollen, wind, the place was brown. Like you could see the air in Johannesburg. It was bad.
It was horrible.
Right?
Yeah, you wanted to be indoors. Like
Shocking.
you just wanted to be indoors because that wind as well was horrible. But
Look at this car, for example. Just look at this car.
let's see. Woo, bit.
Isn't that disgusting? Look at that car. It hasn't been washed in like 6 months.
I can't judge because mine is not that bad.
No, yours is not that bad. I saw yours.
But it's 5 to quarter to looking like that.
Listen, that is producer James's car.
Ooh.
And it looks like it's been shat on by pterodactyls
Oh my gosh.
and then washed with dust.
You could actually write wash me. You know that.
Oh, I think it's so ingrained at this stage that you'd have to use an angle grinder. So you know what? It might be a good idea to spray it off this weekend if you have a car that looks like that.
Yes.
But, you know, and on the other hand, if you are completely happy with that, go for it.
No, get
But
your
the
car
award
washed.
for most disgusting car at the TRN office goes to James. For that kind of fuck.
And that is his acceptance speech.
That's bad. All right, so we did win an award last night at the New Gen Awards for a very cool piece that we did. Some Pee and James were with me in Cape Town when we did it with Turvest Travel Services, TTS.
Yes.
We won a gold award at New Gen for our first time traveler, which we're very proud of. We also got a bronze award for that with Turvest as well. So nice 2 awards for one of our favorite clients. We are happy. I hope they're happy.
Whoop, whoop.
It's a nice way to end the week. So there are lots of good things happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming together. Some interesting stuff to come on the show this morning too. We're going to be joined by Dalen Oliver, who's a comedian in the last little bit of the show. So with the comedians, you know, it's 50-50. Are they going to tell us all their life problems, admit their mental illnesses?
And now we have a couch, so they can really.
Did you see Dave Levinson on Wednesday? He was like lying on. He actually ended up lying down on.
Yeah, like so they can really get into it. You know, sit on the couch, tell us their issues,
Absolutely,
and just unpack whatever is going on in their life.
Or they could do what they fucking meant to do and make us laugh. All right, so great news. 18 to 20% of South Africans are drug dependent.
Hi, Bo, how's that great news?
It's not. I mean, it's really very embarrassing. 18 to 20% of us are dependent on drugs. Okay, when I say us, I don't mean me because I don't have any prescription medication. Sorry, yes, if you're on antidepressants, that includes you. If you are on nyope or dacha,
That's you.
weed, if you're on cocaine,
That's you.
me.
No, I'm saying if you're no, that's
I'm like, Jesus. Okay, so and listen, this is not a chance for us to moralize and be superior. That's not what we're trying to do here. But these are the people included, right? So if you're on any prescription medication that is, for mental health reasons, and let's say it has to do with depression or anxiety or any of that stuff, you're in that number. People who are on non-pharmaceutical hardcore psychotropics and psychedelics and various other medications, people who are doing recreational drugs, people who are just trying to escape from the horrible reality of their life, all of those people, 18 to 20% of people in the latest survey of South Africans are drug dependent. That is a big problem.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's way too high, right?
But I'm probably sure it's small compared if they had to do alcohol.
Well, that's a whole other category.
Yeah,
because I reckon that's fully like 50 to 60%.
Yeah. So that is nothing compared to the alcoholics we have.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey.
Bitcoin Bit says he's in that stat for sure. What, the drug one or the alcohol one or both? Raven says, I just finished reading Matthew Perry's book, Raw Stuff. I recommend it to read on the topic of drug use.
Okay.
Was that published after he died? And how do you know it was him?
That's actually a good question because also Kim Porter, I think, her book was released and they say that she didn't actually write it. It was somebody else that wrote that book and
maybe
whatnot.
It's a book about Matthew Perry. I think Raven means it's a biography written by someone else about him, which would be interesting. I agree. I'm addicted to the show, says Congo Chris. Does that count? Yep, you drug addict.
Get your daily fix.
Right. Okay, so 2 quick things I needed to get off my chest that I have had to take some time to think about. The first one is this craziness that's going on in Tshwane. And we don't do politics on a Friday, but we've only got three shows a week. So, I mean, I can't squeeze everything into one day. They've just ousted the mayor, Siya Brink. And I live in Pretoria. I'll tell you what. I've had it up to here with these politicians. These people don't give a damn about you and me. They don't care about the residents, the citizens of this country. They don't care about taxpayers, clearly. It's all about power for them. It's all about them flexing their political muscle and getting zero done for the rest of us. So I've had enough. I am going to be paying my rates and taxes into a separate account where I will keep it and I will hand it over to them once they've got a mayor. And once that mayor starts delivering. And if it takes 5 years, then that account's just going to get bigger and bigger. And I'll keep the interest. It works for me. It works for the people in Tshwane who I'm not paying for anyone else. I don't care about that anymore. You know why? Because what I'm sick to death of with these politicians, apart from their incompetence and the fact that they're only interested in power, is the fact that they actually ridicule, brown eye, and make fun of people who are legitimate rate and taxpayers. They have a hatred for those who are keeping the system going. And I'll tell you something, I will not be made to feel guilty about people who are living in poor areas that are underserviced because I'm not in government. And I'll also not be made to feel guilty about it because I'm already paying for those people. They're not paying for it. They don't have any money. So guess what? I'm subsidizing it. You're not going to make me feel guilty and get my money. You choose. If you want to make me feel guilty, then you don't get my money. And I'll be guilty. But if I'm going to pay, you don't get to make me feel guilty. And frankly, between you and I don't feel guilty anyway. So you've got no chance of the former. Best you try your best to get me to pay the latter. How about that? So I want to say to the city of Tshwane this morning, good fucking luck. I don't need you. I don't need you for power anymore. I soon won't need you for water anymore. I don't care if the roads are a complete disaster because I'm going to make sure that I have enough money to buy new tires every couple of weeks if you're screwing them up. I don't need you. So I'm not going to pay you anymore. And more of us should do this, especially when our municipalities are falling apart. If you live in a municipality where they're looking after things and they service and they collect your rubbish and all of that stuff, good. You go ahead. You pay them because that's what they're there for. But if you're not, stop paying. You don't have to. Tax is theft. There is no reason in the world that you should have to hand over your hard-earned cash and then also be made to seem like the bad guy because other people are living in poverty. Like that's your fault for having money. If you're paying, then it's not your fault that those people are not. In fact, you're keeping the system going for those people. So I'm not going to be that guy anymore. And screw the people of Pretoria. Frankly, listen, it's not like the DA are in my good books at the moment either. Okay, Alan Windbag, the Premier of the Western Cape, who looks like, who was that guy on Pumpkin Patch, the one puppet? This is a long time ago, right? When I was a kid, there was this show called Pumpkin Patch. There was this dog called Woofles. And then there was this human woman and a human man. And then there are two other puppets. And I never really understood, like, who's the human? Like, are the puppets also human, but they just look like that? Anyway, very confusing for children. But the one puppet had this fuzzy hair on the sides and glasses. And he looked like the biggest turd burglar in the world ever. And that is what Alan Windy looks like. He's going around. He's in New York at the moment. And he's busy talking about climate change and carbon taxes. You know, we have real problems, like the ones I was just talking about in the city of Tshwane just now. And even in the Western Cape, you've got some problems to deal with. But you're worried about climate change? Do you know that South Africa produces less than 1% of the total amount of CO2 in the world? And you're going there to virtue signal about how you're going to raise carbon taxes? Which, by the way, how much carbon dioxide are your carbon taxes going to reduce in the atmosphere, Alan Windbag? Because you don't take carbon out of the air and turn it into something useful, do you? No, you take oxygen out of the air and turn it into carbon dioxide with your horrible thoughts that come out as words and your farts. We've had enough of you. I've had enough of you. Now that that's over, I can enjoy my Friday.
All right.
So, just so you know, it's not partisan because there are people in the DA I can't stand.
Oh, yeah.
It's also not some general rant because this affects me.
Yes.
Like it affects everyone else who lives in the city I live in.
Yes.
Thirdly, I'm just up to here with politicians.
Oh, we all are.
Right?
We all are. And if this is the beginning of anything we've seen in Joburg with all the various Joburg mayors we've had in the last couple of months, what you've just said, Gareth, now, shout out to you. Shout out to you. Thank because you. More people need to do that.
I don't think I'm alone. Speckles was the character from Pumpkin Patch. Speckles and Freckles, but he was Speckles.
Speckles and Freckles.
Anyway.
Were they twins?
I'm revealing my age according to Ruth. She says this Tshwane thing is a stuff up. Well, what does that have to do with age? Don't you think it's going to affect 25-year-olds as much as it's going to affect 60-year-olds?
No one likes paying tax, even me.
No, look, there's Speckles on the left. Ooh. Looks like Alan Windy, you see? And Freckles on the right.
Tsakalani Sesame was like born.
And then that dog, it's like Chewbacca, but like on drugs.
Ooh, scary stuff. This is what you guys were watching growing up.
Yeah, you know how screwed up my generation.
No wonder you turned out like this.
Exactly, yeah.
Now I understand.
How's that? What a scary picture. Well done, producers. That's very good. Okay, you might want to wash your car after the show, but otherwise you've done very well. Are you allowed to not pay tax? Says Huge Erection. Okay, so you're not allowed to pay tax. Guess what? That's mandatory. You can't get away with that. But you can put it in another account, let it wait there. You're going to have to pay it at some point, but don't give it to them now. Make their cash flow a disaster. We could all do this, by the way. And then you just wait till the final letter of demand comes and until the sheriff arrives. You say, you know what? I was so busy ousting the mayor, I forgot to pay my accounts. And then usually you meet those kinds of people at the door and you say to them, if you come into my house, I have various weapons that you can choose for your torture. Which would you like it to be? And then see if they stay for the party. I
wouldn't want to find out.
No, exactly. All right. Very well put, Garrett, says Mary. You haven't even scratched the surface. The tax that you pay in many ways is inflation. Inflation is tax. You can't inflate my Bitcoin. Well, you know what? The other thing is, and I'm not going to go on a whole rant about tax this morning because you know how I feel about it. I really don't think that the government has any right whatsoever to the money that you go to work to earn. You work hard. I don't think there's no one in this audience of ours that doesn't work hard, that isn't trying to make their life better, make the lives of the people they care about better, trying to improve their neighborhood, their own house, their own way of getting to and fro, the place of business. You're doing the best you can. Imagine what you would think of me if I came in and I just stole a half of everything you've worked for.
Just in you for vibes.
Just take it away. And you got nothing in return except a headache. Where would that work for anybody? It doesn't. It doesn't make sense. And don't tell me that these people in politics are earning their money. They're not. They don't earn a damn thing. That's why they're in politics. They're parasites. They don't know how to generate money. They only know how to take what other people have made. They are rent seekers. And there's a whole class of these people all over the world. It's not just in South Africa. There's a whole crust of these people on the top of the soup of society. They're the crust at the top. They gather all the stuff that they want from the rest of us. They take it at force, at gunpoint. And we don't even get to say, hold on a second. Is this right? Is this fair? I don't think it is. So we've got to reevaluate that at some point. But don't, if we're paying taxes, don't tell us we also have to feel bad. And we also have to give the guy on the street corner money. Because you don't. You're already paying for 16 or 17 people you don't know if you're a taxpayer. Okay, so that's good enough. We're like the most charitable people on the planet, taxpayers. Taxpayers are the kindest philanthropists you will ever meet, even if they're not kind people, because they're forced to pay, which means they're better than most of the people who are moaning about this on social media. Anyway, there we go. That's the rant. Done. Dusted. Shall we move on?
Sure.
Yes, sis. What's going on with this P. Diddy shit, man?
Woo!
Now people are putting out like bottles of baby oil with P. Diddy on it.
Oh, that's
Diddler.
50 cents.
The Diddler. Yeah, 50 Cent, who I love. I've been following him for years. He's great.
Oh, yeah. P. Diddy. That man, yeah, he has no friends after this because not indictments. People have sent out like, if you just
cease and desist orders.
Yes, that's Kim Kardashian and a couple of other celebrities. But also if you Google like P. Diddy white parties, it's so hard for you to find pictures of him and other celebrities.
Have they taken them down?
They're taking them down left, right, and center. It's like you can only find pictures of 1995 back in the day, or the ones that are still up. I don't know how. So people are really like,
they're trying to scrub.
Yeah. They're like, I'm not trying to be associated with this man. And we all know you were there. If you were once there, you must tell us what happened. Because I'd like to know what actually happens.
Yes, sis. I don't know if I want to. I think I might be very, very disturbed. That's what worries me.
But they say his parties are amazing, right? And I think that's one aspect of it. So I do think like if you went there as a regular citizen, you'd have the time of your life. But then there's also that other part
Creepy part, the weird part.
Yeah, the weird part where you're like, how did you get so embroiled in this? How did you? Like, I feel sorry for Justin Bieber now.
Oh, man. Like, there is so much internet sympathy for this guy.
Yes.
But it's too late.
No, it is, because the devil got to him.
And he's ruined.
Yeah, like for life.
He's a proper disaster.
For life.
Oh, poor kid.
And it's because of P. Diddy.
You think it's P. Diddy?
It's P. Diddy.
You think it's just P. Diddy?
No, wait. Well, in the indictment, they're like Sean Combs, a.k.a. P. Diddy, a.k.a. Diddy, a.k.a.
Puffy,
Love,
yeah.
a.k.a. Puff, a.k.a. So whoever messed with...
Whichever of his personalities came out and abused the kid.
I blame that person.
Jesus.
Yes.
Well,
it's crazy.
There it is. There's the baby oil.
And now he's on suicide watch as well. Isn't this... I'm watching this like a movie and I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah, this was not on the bingo card for, an already crazy couple of years. I didn't see this coming. I don't know about you.
I didn't as well.
We shall have to see. So, all right. Do we know, since we won some awards last night for some stuff we did with Tour Vest, who the biggest and best tourism company in this country. Do we know what our country's tourism slogan is?
Well, I recently discovered what it is. I thought
What
it was
is it?
something else. I thought it was something else. But there's actually, I didn't even know countries actually had tourism slogans.
I didn't know this either.
In general. Whoa,
That's the award, yeah.
that looks so pretty.
If you're watching us on YouTube this morning, that's the award. So what is our slogan?
So our slogan is
Yeah.
inspiring new ways, which I think is quite boring.
That's a platitude. That's just so, I mean, that's like means nothing. That's the kind of thing you'd hear Kamala Harris say. Inspiring new. What is it?
New ways.
Inspiring new ways.
I think it should change. I like the current no DNA, just RSA.
Yeah, that would be better.
I know, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's so many others that could at least make people smile or laugh. That means nothing. Inspiring new ways. Ugh.
Yes. Yeah.
What else have you got?
So we have Jordan, and theirs is yes, it's Jordan.
Oh God. Okay. Also, even worse.
I know, boring.
That's about as
Netherlands.
you know what's the funny thing is? Someone paid like $10 million for some group of like assholes to get into a room and come up with yes, it's Jordan.
And they had to market that.
Yeah. Because what probably, and here's what happened, right? They got paid the $10 million and they're sitting in this room, and one of them walked in and asked the question, am I in the right boardroom? Is this Jordan? And the one guy went, yes, it's Jordan. And then everyone else said, that's a great slogan. Let's use that. And they took their 10 million and they went away.
Yeah. And it stuck around. Netherlands is the original cool.
Okay, that's nice.
I like that.
Yeah.
Hungry. Think hungry more than expected. Doesn't land.
Yeah.
I like this one. Nigeria. Good people, great nation.
Well, South Africans would disagree. I mean, you can't lie, okay? But they are confident. We've got good people, great nation.
My God is good, oh.
Oh, beautiful.
Okay, then we have Malaysia, truly Asia.
Yeah, I know that. I've never really got that one. Malaysia, truly Asian, because I've seen the ads and things. It's like, what do you say about the rest of Asia? They're not truly Asian?
Boring.
Yeah.
Very boring. Germany, simply inspiring.
Also lame.
Yeah.
But you see, the problem is with these countries, right? They don't actually have any national identity anymore because it's become uncool to be a nation state.
Mm-hmm.
It's become uncool to be, and also if you hadn't a sense of humor, you would take like stereotypes and we'd turn those into something.
Yes.
The way, come to South Africa, experience corruption.
Pastor Rhymes was here this weekend.
Yeah, and he got his phone. It wasn't his phone, by the way. Someone corrected me because we actually went on Wednesday morning and I said Buster Rhymes had his phone stolen at Live. He didn't. It was someone else's phone. And he went on the mic and said, anybody stolen this phone, you pussy.
But the comments on there was like, he's getting the true South African experience.
Yes.
Like, welcome to Mzansi. I was like, yo,
that.
South Africa.
No, that's the true experience. You have Buster Rhymes. I was with South Africa. I had I watched someone have a phone stolen right in front of me. That's a true South African experience. South Africa. It would be beautiful. Come to South Africa. We'll take your shit. That should be.
And we don't care if you're famous or
we'll
not.
steal your shit. Lots of love, South Africa. And the Germans must embrace the fact that they eat sausages and drink beer. Like sausages and beer? Come to Germany. And the French. Ever visited France? Just ask a Frenchman how many days he has off. He only visits France. Take all the stereotypes you can. Americans. Are you loud? Are you irritating? Join us in America for a week. You'll fit right in. Brazil. Do you look good in a bikini? Come to Brazil.
Oh, yes.
Huh?
Yes. Oh.
Do you not care if you look good in a bikini, but you want to come to Brazil anyway? Come to Brazil.
I agree with you.
All right. Some of these are lame, but some might work.
Yeah, but the rest, now after you've given such great suggestions, the rest is like super boring. Like the USA, visit us.
Oh my God, is that it?
Yeah.
But visit US, right?
Yeah.
That's how they justify that they spend more than 5 minutes thinking about it. Okay.
Yeah. We have Jamaica. I think this one is kind of up there. heartbeat of the world.
Hmm.
You know? Greece, all-time classic.
Okay, good.
India, incredible India.
Yeah.
And then we'll end with Iceland, better than space.
That's a big ask, hey?
Yeah, that's actually quite
Have you heard North Korea's one?
No.
If you steal something, cancel your flight home.
Yeah, those people are
That's
quick
from
to arrest
Bitcoin
you.
Boys.
Yeah.
Okay, does Oranje want tourists? I don't know. Everybody seems very interested in Oranje this year.
They've had tourists.
I don't know, but like everybody's talking about Oranje. I still don't know where it is on the map, and I'm embarrassed about that. I've never found Oranje on a map. I've maybe got to like go and check this place. Everyone's talking about it.
Yes.
So I don't know.
Well, they say they're very welcoming. They say that they're not racist. They do allow tourists and people of color to come through, check it out. But it is one of those where you must kumbule kai and go back home.
Yeah, well.
You know, it's one of those.
But that's a rule in my house too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want anybody staying over.
Yeah.
You must go home eventually.
So
you can come for a party, come for a drink. You can come and have a cup of tea, but then you must fuck off.
That's Oranje for you.
Right, exactly. South Africa's slogan, according to Percy, lose your shit. Maybe. I mean, that could be something.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you want to come to South Africa and behave really badly, I think you can get away with it here.
Mm-hmm.
We are very
Where's
bad.
my iPad?
Where's my iPad? Someone has stolen my iPad. I mean, if the president can lose his iPad on national television, then your stuff's not safe.
At all. We're not a serious nation, eh? Like,
how about Cape Town? Bushveldput says, Kaapstad, Jomasa Poes.
You're gonna get a beating. You're gonna get a beating. Yes.
I wonder what overseas people would even think that meant.
And they'd go around because you know South Africans also like doing it's a greeting, and then they teach you like a saying like that, and then you say it to an actual colored.
Yeah.
Mama! Same time.
Oh man.
So yeah.
Okay, and then what do we got here? Podcasts. I'm just looking at these comments. Is Gareth, speak to Ramon about Oranje. He's been there. Yeah, I'll talk to him. We've got to get him in here once he's able to talk. I think it's so funny that they can't get him to. They can't force him to resign, and he's not going to do it voluntarily. So they have to go through all these processes, which the stupid labor laws in this country, you know, they make it impossible for you to fire anyone. So all the people who really hate him have to sit and wait with bated breath to see what his next move is. We'll get him on here one day to talk about it. It'll be funny. Vietnam could be, is it the Reebok or the Nike? Is this a Reebok or a Nike? Remember? Or any of those songs which are badly done with karaoke. That could be like the theme music for Vietnam. Anyway, some good stuff. Iran, a clear vision. I don't know that works so well, but maybe you can explain it to me.
Vision. That sounds so boring.
I do want to say this, though. I mean, we didn't talk about this much because I was actually overseas at the time, and we were talking about Bulgaria and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But this thing that Israel did with Hezbollah, with the pages.
Sure.
I mean, let me just say this. You know, there are very smart people in the world, and there are very stupid people in the world.
Yes.
If you think Hezbollah is made up of smart people, then you have to explain how they were so dumb that they bought these pages from, and the Israelis, I mean, talk about a long-term plan, hey? I mean, they must have planned this like 10 years ago, maybe 5. They're like, well, we're going to make these pages, and then we're going to sell them through this other company, and Hezbollah are going to buy them. And inside each one, just waiting there until we're ready to press the button, is a little explosive device to take these terrorists right out. And what do these guys do? Because they're so dumb. It goes exactly the way the Israelis want it to go. I mean, there's so many contingencies you have to put into place for this to work. And yet it did. So, you know what? I'm also sick of people in this world saying, there's no such thing as dumb people. Yes, there are. And you know what happens to dumb people? Bad things. I mean, it's unreal that they pressed the button and like a whole bunch of these pages just exploded. Tell me I'm not the only one who finds that hilarious, because it is.
It's one of those where you just like...
Years ago on Whose Line Is It Anyway, they came up with Colombia We're not just known for coffee. Russia, all our women look like men.
Oh, wow.
That's not fair. I know some Russians who don't look like men at all, and they are very beautiful women, actually. At the strip clubs, for example.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The
Right, exactly. That's a good one. Audrey says, ours should be stop nonsense.
Yes.
That's a good one, right?
Yes.
We came up with that, like 2 years ago. So that's very, very good. And then this is quite cool. Ask the people who declined pages. Well, I don't know any of the did. I think it's so funny. Gayton McKenzie, pen or the black pen, also went to Aranya. Nothing but praise that South Africa can learn from their work ethic, says Patrick. Well, it just keeps coming up, right? Pakistan, hot and spicy. That could work.
My friend. That's
India,
what I think.
You can wash your hands as much as you like. Don't eat anything. That is funny. By the way, India is getting a very rough time on the social media at the moment. All that happens on social media with India is they just show people shitting on beaches.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny? And Indians are getting really upset. That is not true about my country.
Have some decorum,
They're like
guys.
really upset.
No,
They're like, we're not just shitting on the beach. And it's like, well, there's a lot of people shitting on the beach in all these pictures. So you explain that to us, please. Hello, Ben.
Hi, guys. It's not a niche of mine, but I know I've sent 6 or 7 of those memes.
Oh,
myself.
yeah, it's very funny.
It's just,
Right.
it's
It is
in the
hilarious.
mix.
Yeah.
It's in the mix.
Yeah. And we don't have to be PR people for India. Why?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, they've broken our hearts so many times in cricket. I will
Take the chance.
post the shitty memes.
So, what's been happening? I haven't seen you since Bulgaria.
I know. What a time that was.
We did have
fun.
Yeah, I missed you, Sim. Next time we'll take you instead of Ben.
Okay, cool.
I
Thank
don't
you.
Or
know.
you and Ben go and I'll stay here.
I'm not sure
Especially if
about
it's Bulgaria
that.
again.
I'm not
I don't
sure
need to go
about
to
that.
Bulgaria a second. Do you get to go a second time?
It depends. I mean, look, there's other places that I want to see. So what I normally do when I travel to a country, I like to be slightly naive towards what's about to happen. I don't want to do all the research. And this week, obviously, I've done all the research now in Bulgaria because it's like, okay, well, I knew about that. I know about this.
But you missed a lot. I missed a lot.
We missed so much.
Yeah.
But I think also just going back to Plovdiv maybe is the thing to do. All the Roman ruins, and it's actually a beautiful city.
We had Dave Levinson on Wednesday.
Sorry, guys, can I just stop you right there? We've got to get a handle on this thumbnail, real life.
What do you mean?
Dave was another prime example. You put a picture of him in his 20s.
I know. Yeah, I know.
And then this oak rocks up that looks like he's actually been like living under a bridge for 20
Hey,
years.
you need to show people's good
And
side.
I know Dave, so I can say that to his face too. But guys, it's basically online fraud you're committing here.
I mean,
Where did you even find a picture of Dave that young? I mean, I thought it would be black and white. It's on his website.
We've got to put a
Oh,
stop to
wow.
this, guys.
Let me just find this.
You know, if we're going to take the piss out of like Indian shitting on the beach, we can also hold accountability towards.
no, I think he's doing what a lot of people do, which is just put his best foot forward on the internet.
But it's not even his foot,
His website.
guys. I mean, it's just about a bit of integrity. Let's have that, please.
I mean, not everybody enjoys aging. So if I looked
No one
good when
does.
I was, come on now. That's going to be what
Fraud.
I run.
Yeah, that's an old
fraud.
picture, Dave. Unbelievable.
I tried defending you. Dave.
Loved him. We should have had him on with Gord. Oh, Gord. Gord Laws.
How's good?
He sent me. He's fine, but I mean, he sent me he shaved his head and then he sends me a picture of his shaved fucking head. And I'm like, why? Oh, I sent this to you by mistake. I said, why are you sending me this? So he goes, you want it, don't you? I'm like, you're revolting. Don't send me pictures of you shaving your head. Why would anyone want that from any other human being? I'm thinking of blocking. I'm
us
seriously,
bros like that,
I'm
hey?
thinking of blocking the guy. I'm that close.
He said it was by mistake.
He's talking nonsense. He probably spammed it out to everyone in his phone directory because he's looking for attention.
I've got.
Did he look good though?
No,
well,
looked
at least
ridiculous.
at
He
least
looked like a bowling
current,
ball.
right? He looked current.
he looked
right?
like a bowling ball with like a snowman with 2 bits of coal for the eyes and a carrot for the nose. It's
Jeepers.
ridiculous.
You sound a bit.
Do you want to see it?
traumatized. You sound really traumatized from this
I'll
picture.
show you the picture. Well,
sorry.
I deleted it, but it'd still be in our chat, right?
Sorry, Gord. I've got some DMs that I've been slacking on this week.
Look at
Gord
this.
sent some funny things.
Whoever, tell me that
Yeah,
you
that's
need
a lot
to see
of-
that.
That's a lot of someone.
Zoom in
yeah.
on that if you can.
Okay, that's
Don't even
like
know if you can see that properly.
unprovoked.
But
It's like the top of his head.
It's the top of
Who
the
wants
head.
to see that? Can you
Yeah.
see that? Looks like
Yeah.
Looks like an orc from Lord of the Rings.
Look, I've got to be honest with you, Gareth. From that angle with the pixelation,
Okay,
that
now I
just looks like a
understand the
dick pic.
frustration.
All right, let me get up and go to the camera.
No, I think we've seen enough.
No, I think people need to be
No,
people
no.
need to be put through the same misery.
Oh no.
The same misery as you've
Oh,
endured.
no.
That's rough.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay. Go back a bit.
there we go.
Down
Go
a bit.
down
Yeah, now steady.
to the left.
Yeah. I mean, if you have
Hectic.
if you need glasses and you've lost your glasses, that's a dick pic. It's basically a.
Wait, that's taking it to the extreme.
If you show that picture,
Well, look
to,
at me. I'm all blurred out. I kind of like that look.
If you show
Can't
that
we go
picture
with
to
that,
Warris, you show that picture to Warris with his eyesight, it'll be a dick pic.
Yeah.
Has he got bad eyesight?
Yo, he can't see, hey?
Can't see
Really?
shit.
So he doesn't wear
Like,
glasses?
he's
Has he
always
got
like
contact
squinting.
lenses?
No, nothing. He's always squinting.
So he's a hazard on the road.
yeah.
So I was trying to show him some stuff yesterday out the window because there's this big Ukraine flag
Oh,
in Weinberg here.
why?
I don't know.
Someone support the war?
It's this gigantic Ukraine flag just sitting on our horizon. And he's like, I don't see it. It's like, it's right there. It's the flag post. Like, no, don't see
We
it.
can all see it, and he's like,
Shame, I didn't know he
wait.
had bad eyes.
I mean, like Weinberg's industrial area, right? Everything's 2 stories, and there's this giant Ukraine flag at the top of it. He's like, mm-mm.
He kept calling me Flex the other day, and I didn't understand why.
It's because you guys all look the same.
Yeah, clearly. And Flex is black.
It's the
I didn't
heat
realize
tint.
he's got very bad eyesight. then. Very bad. All right. Well,
You know, he's got so many kids. So he arrived with 2 of his kids yesterday, and he
so
goes,
many. He
and he
doesn't have
goes-
so many.
he
Yeah,
goes,
he does.
guys, these are
He
my
has a lot.
lighties. He just goes,
And then there's
"These are
still another one that wasn't around. Like, yeah, that's a lot.
All right. Let's get to the important questions.
Yes.
So we mentioned just now that the Israeli government was so clever, Israeli intelligence, that they made these pages ages ago, and then they put them to work like last week, and it's very clever, and no one could have seen it coming. And I mean, whether you're on this side or that, you got to give credit. That's like a stroke
That's-
of proper genius.
That's like a James Bond movie to the 5th degree kind of
right,
thing.
absolutely.
Super smart.
So I know it's playing into stereotypes, but Ben actually thinks that Jews invented mainstream hip hop.
But I think it's true. I don't think it's one of those strange sort of theories. Because when did hip hop become really, really big?
Why? Okay, so why do you think the Jews invented it?
Well, if you look at all the sort of labels, right? Like Diddy, Jay-Z,
Mm-hmm.
Death Row, all those kind of records, they're all fronted or partly owned by Jewish businessmen.
Well, maybe they're just really good at the business there.
Mm.
But why did they
And the
choose?
entertainment business, again, playing into stereotypes. There are a lot of very, very clever people who've made the entertainment business what it is and happen to be Jewish.
Completely. I totally
Okay.
get that. And you can go into any industry and you'll find an industrious Jewish man who's probably behind something
Yeah.
or has pioneered something. Because
Okay.
that's what they are.
Work
There's-
hard,
They've always been
very
innovative.
loyal. Yeah,
But
absolutely.
if you tie all these things
Stereotypes,
together,
but yeah.
because right now we're in a very interesting, if you love a conspiracy theory or there's a bit of a pop culture buzz around, right now it's fascinating because you got the P. Diddy,
Yes.
sex trafficking, all this other kind of stuff. You've got the darkness of like the hip hop world coming out in the back of this. And then you've got all these like allegations around the Jews were running it from the start. Because
Yeah, but the way people always, their last resort is always the Jews.
the Jews, and
It's
Gareth,
always like, let's blame them. If
I
they
get
run out of
that.
other stuff, I mean,
because it's-
everything's a disaster. I know, let's blame the Jews.
totally get that. And this is why I put it up for discussion.
Do you think
Because
hip hop is so awful that we need to blame the Jews?
no, I just think that how did hip hop become so incredibly popular and so huge and so much money kind of got into that?
Well, don't you remember how much trouble Kanye West got into when he said this?
So why did he say this kind of stuff? And why have there been like guys like Ice Cube and all come out eventually to say that these are the guys pulling the strings?
Well, maybe if they're pulling the strings, there's no one else who's capable of pulling the strings, and
Which
maybe
I will never deny. Never
no,
deny,
sure. So maybe hip hop needs to actually just account for itself. I want to know what the effects, and I'm a rap and hip hop fan.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of these.
It's hard not to be. I mean, it encapsulates so much of the last 30 years. Basically.
Yeah, there are a lot of these songs that I absolutely love. So
Yeah.
I don't actually care who's in the kitchen making them. If they come out as well as they have.
Yeah.
But are you saying there's like a conspiracy theory that this stuff was generated to socially engineer stuff?
So that's where a lot of this kind of goes, in that there's this whole thing about keeping the hood the hood. You've seen that movie Boys in the Hood, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Long ago.
And you see how, straight out of Compton, there was all those kind of social issues around. This suits the narrative. If we have angry hip hop, glamorizing gangsterism,
I don't know how that benefits the Jews.
I mean, they give the money to themselves.
But how?
But
I mean,
social
how? Because
engineering.
they're making a bunch of rappers rich. Then that doesn't make sense.
I saw an
But
interview
they spend it on what?
I saw an
dumb
interview
things.
with Ice Cube talking about how the prison business is a good business because a lot of people in hip hop own prisons.
Really?
Interview with Ice Cube. He
and
goes through this whole thing.
Like
yeah, but again,
prison as a business.
I don't think the Jews own the prisons.
Look,
anyway, I mean,
I'm
Congo
saying
Chris says that is ridiculous, Ben, because Jews couldn't have invented hip hop. They don't have rhythm.
They're not rapping. It's not like song produced by,
Well, that Don Kitty says, someone give Ben a tinfoil hat.
Guys, all I'm saying is that you can scratch a little bit behind how this thing, because how did these oaks become so rich so quick, and it was such an incredible global movement? You can't just say it's talent. This is orchestrated a long time, because hip hop is gigantic. It changed so many different things. And you can say what you want about talent. Talent doesn't run itself that well. We know this for a fact. Look at anywhere in history. It was a big orchestrated movement. I think it captivated an incredible time.
I would believe it if you said the CIA. I would believe it if you said, large intergovernmental agencies.
Yeah, I'm not
I would say those people, and there seems to be a fair amount of evidence that there were people who wanted to use hip hop and rap for nefarious purposes. By nefarious purposes, I mean to get the major narratives inside of that kind of music to lean a certain way.
That's where I'm going with this.
Okay.
But
That's where I'm going with this, because I think
can't say the truth though.
Look,
That's what Gareth and I are saying.
I didn't start off by saying the Jews are they're a massive part of this, like most big industry. But there's, as you say, Gareth, these things get manipulated, and I think what we're seeing now with all these sex trafficking, all these dirty secrets coming out, we're starting to see some of the roots of this, because strings get pulled.
Well, Percy and Tabo and a bunch of other people agree with you, because they're also conspiracy theorists. In fact, Percy and Tabo and all those same people who are agreeing with you, they're also all members of the Flat Earth Society, which was started in
You guys are... It's interesting. It's interesting how you got there, but no, I can't.
I also think
I can't see it through.
I think there are a lot of really creepy weirdos in the entertainment business in America.
We know, of course, yeah.
So I think we start there. And maybe P. Diddy was one of those weirdos. And maybe one of the things that he and a bunch of his other weirdo friends were into was like drugging and abusing people against their will. People like Bill Cosby. These are dodgy people who have weird predilections, because most of them are degenerates, as we're starting to discover. And I think that's where it begins.
So I'm not saying that the Jews are behind all of that. I mean,
just hip hop.
Let's not jump around.
Just hip hop. That's what you're saying.
And jump around. What I'm saying is that these things, there's so many other forces at play here, for good, bad, or nefarious, or profit. But yes, I mean, it always comes back to the CIA. That's like a redundant point now, because they invented the word conspiracy theory. So you don't have
they did.
You have to worry. You have to ask any questions. And all of this is going to come out, because the more every single day there's new allegations. I mean, I think yesterday P. Diddy was saying through his lawyer that he's going to take guys down with him.
Oh, now that'll be exciting.
All these other little things are going to come out and watch now.
I'm here for the show. I mean, I think this is quite exciting. Ben, tell us about the aliens and pyramids. There was a tinfoil hat on Ben, in case you're wondering what's going on.
Follow the money in everything in life. We saw it with COVID. We saw those things, and you can get a broader opinion. And I always find that interesting. I don't live and die by these things.
Sure.
No. But I do like the fact that all of the trusted narratives that we've been told for years are starting to fall apart.
Completely.
That's fun.
Because people are thinking.
Yeah, I'm quite enjoying watching like people going, but obviously it's true. The news tells the truth. No,
Nope,
it doesn't.
They lie.
I had such a serious conversation with someone the other day. I was like, you have to stop watching the news. And I mean this. I mean this for anybody. If you want to have a happy life,
that's true.
Stop paying attention to the news. Unsubscribe from all of these news sites that are all going bankrupt anyway, because people are starting to wake up to the fact that they A, don't need them, B, none of that information is particularly useful in your life, C, it just makes you unhappy,
Completely.
and D, they are using you. You're not using the news. They're posting stuff to get a reaction out of you that keeps you coming back for more. They've basically hijacked your brain. And if you fall for that, that's on you. Okay, I know that you want to get the shiny things and the stuff that tastes nice, and you want to start like bad dopamine cycles in your head. But the news is probably one of the easiest ones to break. Just stop it. Like, so if you don't know the latest of what's going on in Ukraine, do you know how much effect that's going to have on your day tomorrow?
Yeah, are you a Ukrainian correspondent? I mean, and you know what it is? The old generation that suffers the most from this.
Oh, they are so screwed.
Because they want to trust.
Yeah.
But it's too late for them to question stuff.
I know.
Because they don't want to come across as cynical, but it is. And going back to what you're saying about it's not really news, these are the worst content creators. These are the people who don't have the balls to have their own channels like you, Gareth. These are the people who don't have the ability to actually create something useful, like, I don't know, Ben Shapiro or whatever. They're just not good at what they do.
Did you say Ben Shapiro because he's a Jew?
And he's behind hip-hop.
All right. Okay, well...
Also, I can't listen to Ben Shapiro. Jeepers, he's got such a cartoon kind of... I don't know if I should slow
And
him
he tries
down.
to be serious, hey? And then it's like,
He's a
can't
smart
take you
dude. And
I think
seriously.
he's good. Listen, something happened to me yesterday. It felt like a conspiracy theory. I was sent this email, ostensibly from Twitter,
Okay.
saying to me, there's been like suspicious activity on your account. We just need you to log in and check that it was you. It was obviously, a hack. But I went in there, and then as I typed the password, and this happened to me just the other day again with some like fraudulent payment that someone was after. Anyway, went in, and then someone took a screenshot of this for me because I got in as quickly as I could and changed it. Someone was trying to sell a meme coin of me, but they were going to sell a minimum purchase of 0.5 Sol, maximum purchase 69 Sol Solana, that is. Obviously, I'm not doing a meme coin, so let's be clear about that. But I quickly went in, changed the password. You got to watch out for these things. It looked like it was from Twitter. Everything about it was legit.
Sure.
Email address, everything. These guys are getting so good.
Nice to know you're still famous, though, Gareth.
I imagine them making a meme coin of me. No, I knew that. That's when I knew. That's when I knew it was
We
bullshit.
should have known
right?
how many people were gonna buy. Like, had we known?
Such a lot of nonsense.
Yes. See.
So that's going on. But I thought that was kind of funny, and I would just be very, very careful. You see that? That was not me who posted that. Look at all that shit there. First of all, you know it wasn't me because there's no way I would type H6GB M7DE FPUCA, blah, 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 blah.
You also wouldn't
I spell badly occasionally, but not that often.
You wouldn't say get ready to dive into the fun.
That's true. I would not do that.
And the amount of emojis, dead giveaway.
Yeah.
Dead giveaway.
So look out. It could happen to anyone.
Let me just say that there was no Jews behind that.
No.
Alleging
Not a
anything.
single time.
I think that's just a chancer.
My problem. So here's Carl with a serious question for us this morning. And we're here to solve problems, right? Carl says, my problem is that I hate not knowing stuff. I want to know everything all the time. I could not sleep until I found out why there were so many memes about baby oil and Diddy. Okay, but you can use social media for that.
Yeah.
And you can scratch that itch, but you don't have to be watching and paying attention to the news the whole time. I don't understand a single person who's got a subscription to a news site. First of all, you don't have to pay for that shit.
Yes.
Because it's not quality journalism, no matter what they tell you. It's bullshit. Second of all,
tweets.
It's not helping you and it's not relevant in your life. It just isn't. And don't tell me that those are the investigative journalists who are uncovering corruption, because frankly, there's more of that happening on Twitter from ordinary people anyway.
Yes.
So why do we need them?
Yeah,
We
you're,
don't.
you're not supporting journalism.
No, you're not.
Don't get in your high donkey here and say, I'm
No.
supporting journalism because I want to know the truth.
You're
You're not.
definitely not.
Yeah, and I can tell you half of those articles are based off tweets.
That's the whole point.
Like literally,
Yeah.
they're like breaking news.
Yeah.
P Diddy and 1,000 what, and then it's tweet,
And it's tweets that you've already seen.
And
So
I'm
you're like,
like,
And it's
Ah.
3 hours
Yeah.
after the fact, yeah.
correct.
So,
Okay, so there we are. The Cape Union Mart website was duplicated last week with 70% of all merch, and people lost millions from making purchases on the fake site, says Zach. That's scary.
hectic.
That's unbelievable, right? James is behind that scam. He's trying to get money to wash his car, says Kong and Chris. Have you seen the picture of James's car?
Horrible.
No,
Look at that.
James.
Oh, isn't that
Absolutely
appalling, right?
horrible.
James, come on.
No, do better. No, do better, dude. Do better.
You know what, James? Instead of waking up at 4 o'clock this morning, you should have woken up at 3,
Yeah,
according to
James.
Simpiwe.
That sounds
You know,
like
washing your car at 3 in the morning and getting every one of your neighbors to go, this guy's completely insane. We need to have him arrested.
look for solutions, not complaints, James.
So Donna says, and I agree with her,
Mhm.
Donna says in the comments, the average home has 2 washing machines, an actual washing machine and a brain washing machine, which is your TV.
That is very true.
Have you seen, speaking of which, have you seen what these dickbags at SABC are trying to do now?
What?
So now they're saying, we're going away from the TV license.
Oh.
Because it's an old system, it doesn't work.
Hallelujah.
Now what they want to do, they want to basically charge you per screen that you have the ability to access SABC on. So that's your phone, that's your laptop.
Have you
That's
ever?
your iPod.
Let me ask you a
iPad,
question.
sorry.
All right. If this is
I'm
so
not making
dumb.
this up.
Okay, if this is true, Ben, and I mean, you've come in with some crazy theories this morning. But
Breaking news.
if this is true,
Because the Jews aren't behind SABC either.
all right. So if this is true, this is so dumb that it beggars belief. Okay, I have never ever accessed the SABC on my phone for anything. I don't think that those letters have ever pitched up on my phone in a row in that particular order. SABC ever. It may be possible for me to get something that they make on here, but I'm not looking for it. Ever?
Ever, like,
Ever?
no.
Ever?
Ever. Why would I go for SABC on my phone, on my laptop?
And they want to charge you just in case somewhere on that screen.
they had a better chance of getting money out of me for the TV license.
So-
So much better.
So
That's
that's what I
incredible.
find so interesting about this because, and again, I don't want to sound disparaging because the SABC provides entertainment for a lot of people in this country.
Sure.
But if we want to go in the phone and what's the capabilities of what's on here, I can get videos of Diddy's sex parties if I really wanted to.
Well, Simpiwe says you can't actually. They've scrubbed the internet.
They-
you can get anything you want. The world,
can,
okay?
yeah.
Ever since
can.
somebody first pressed play on something, you can
Sure.
get that. Now you're telling me that I'm going to go and scroll through for local domestic viewing? Probably not. Probably not.
But also they target market, right? There are people that still access
Yeah, good on them.
or watch the SABC because they don't have a choice. I promise you, they're not using their cell phone. And they don't have the kind of cell phones we have.
They get the
I
the
promise
old
you.
ones with the
the old
buttons.
ones, the
With the
diddly,
buttons.
the ones that last for 3 days. Battery doesn't die.
Hey, apparently a guy found a Nokia 3310 that was buried and it still had battery.
Yeah.
You see?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. They don't,
Oh my
they don't
God.
make them like
Right?
that anymore. So I'm just saying that the traditional person would still purchase a TV. That's why I'm saying the best way of them even trying to get money out of us was still a TV license. Because every time you buy a TV, they're going to be like, where's your TV license? Then you pay for it.
Listen, I know they need to make money and they should go about that like everyone else who needs to make money. What you do if you want to make money, here's a really business 101. I know you didn't come here for this, but I'm your lecturer today.
And he's not
I have
Jewish.
something of value. You want that thing of value. You must give me money. If you have something of value and I have the money, it goes the opposite way.
Yep.
If we both have something of value, we can either exchange it or we can figure out how to make the thing that the other guy makes with money. But money is just the means of getting the things that you want.
Yes.
So give us value, we'll pay you money. I don't like Tim, whatever his name is at Apple. I don't really care about him, but he makes nice phones. So I'm willing to part with some of my money to get one of
Yes.
Tim's phones. Same goes for the SABC. Put on stuff people want to listen to and watch, and they will pay you. They will. It's about a fair exchange. The whole reason I was saying earlier, don't subscribe to half of these news sites is because you're not getting value from them. So just go, let's see. What's this worth? Is it worth 20 Rand? Is it worth 100 Rand? Is it worth 0 Rand? If it's worth 0 Rand, you don't have to pay for it. That's why I'm not going to pay my municipal taxes either, because it's worth 0 Rand.
And also, oh, poor me, I need money isn't a value proposition.
Yeah.
These news sites coming out now
Yeah.
going, we have to run at 30%, or we're
Yeah,
really
we're
struggling.
going to have to fire all our crap journalists,
Well, then your
and
product
that's on
shit.
you.
Yeah.
You're like, well, then fire them. I don't feel bad.
Yeah, your product shit is outdated and nobody wants it.
Right.
It's the value
So
exchange.
fire those crap people and stop making your problems mine. You can't guilt people into supporting
That's
your
not a
business, right?
No, stop it.
They learn it from government, guys.
They did.
No, guys, don't be so
Sophia,
hard.
you're right. They
They
learn it from-
really do. Government is always like, oh, so sorry, guys, but we need more money.
Yeah, we
need
fucked
more-"
up. Yeah.
You know, Cupcake was with Elon Musk the other day,
Yeah.
and then I promise you, that guy was asking for money. I promise you,
I've
they
You
were.
can just see it on his face, right?
Yeah,
I've
he's just
always maintained if
Yeah.
you put Cyril in the slips, he'll catch anything in cricket. The bloke just lives his life like this.
yes.
He walks around like this.
So how do
You've
you?
seen the size of Cyril's hands. They get bigger with every deal.
From taking.
Yeah,
If you just take all the time, it's an evolutionary
See.
trait. They just get bigger and bigger.
He was shaking Elon Musk's hand. You couldn't see it. It's just
It's just Cyril's big fucking
It's
hands.
Cyril was
Wow.
looking for 1 trillion rand, I think it was.
Really? So he was
Well,
actually
he's-
out with the begging bowl.
He's on a road show. He's on a big road show looking for a
Which I
trillion.
don't understand. Like this pem mentality. Then it trickles down to businesses because also businesses are like, oh, our government is asking for money. Even me, I can ask for money. Let's all ask for money. No, guys,
No,
stop it.
government should do it because, again, goes back to
it's
Gary's
so
point.
funny.
Government goes and says, right, guys, we've got these industries you can invest in. They don't go, we haven't got any money left. And
Yes.
go there with value. Sure, look for 1 trillion. Good on you. But it can't just be the begging bowl.
So a couple of comments here on some of the things because we've jumped around a bit. So Sanela says, Nokia was like Toyota. They focused 100% on reliability. They just lost at innovation and reinvention.
Yep.
But damn, those batteries could last.
And then
Yeah.
Nokia tried to make them great new phones. They had these really big cameras, but they were so ugly. In that
Yeah.
stage, the horse had bolted.
Yeah, too late. XR says, I pay my TV license just because Manus and Wembo, are so good. I never watch them though. So
Okay.
why don't you just find out from Leanne Manus what her bank account details are and just pay her every month?
Yeah, they should just be on Patreon.
No, just say to Leanne Manus, I think you're awesome. And I think you've done a great job over like 20 years at Morning Live.
Yes.
Here's some money.
Wouldn't it be
Yeah.
funny?
Send her an envelope with some cash
Wouldn't it be funny if you find out where she does coffee with her friends, you just slip her $120 in an envelope.
while she's sitting there with her friends. Can you imagine how embarrassed
You don't say anything, you
She
just
would
slip it
be
in there.
so shocked. She'd be like, and now?
Leanne Manus is sitting there going, hi, everybody. And then you walk over with your envelope of money and she goes, what's this for? And then her friends are like, it's dodgy.
Because her friends are going to be like, not you too, girl.
What have you been doing? Yeah, greasing the palms. Anyway, Bronwyn says, imagine what poor Elon thinks when he gets a call from Cupcake saying, hi, Buffan, can I come over and see you? Yeah. You know, like certain people, you might even have friends like this. I'm not saying you do, but maybe you do. Those friends who call you and you just know they want something.
Yeah, or they're always in trouble. Like that call when I see Garrett,
They're
there's
always
something.
in trouble, right?
And then you're like, hello, hi, how are you? I'm good. Yeah, friend, like, can you help me? I'm in a pickle. I need XYZ. And you're like, okay. Like, you only know my number when you are in trouble.
Yeah. Cyril's like that.
So annoying.
Bitcoin Bot says there are talks that MTN will be in charge of distributing Starlink. Cyril is tied to MTN.
Well, that makes sense. I saw the dumbest stuff on X. This week I've been on Twitter way too much.
Yeah, I think so. You conspiracy theorying it up a
No, I
fucking
was doing
storm.
research around the show like I always do leading into Thursday, and then X just throws things in your face. But I saw how broken some people are in this country. Because the whole thing about doing business in this country is you've got to give away to BEE and you've got to give the government a share.
You got a hat and tax, which we were
And all
talking
that
about
kind of
earlier.
stuff.
So you
Whereas-
basically, everything you do, you'd be lucky if you get 20% out at the end for your hard work. And no one else did any work except you.
Yeah.
but you only get to keep 20%.
So Elon's not going to do that. He's not stupid, nor does he need any of this. So the article, or it wasn't an article, I can't remember, but it basically just said that Elon will bring Starlink, but he'll keep 100% of it. And the comments were racist. Who's this guy think he is? This is not how it works here. You know, you don't just get to dictate terms. But the thing is, if you bring a product, going back to what Gareth said, with so much value, let them keep the 100% because 100% of people can now use this that couldn't use it, and they'll actually get benefits. Like they'll get jobs, they'll better themselves.
So,
but all people can see is that.
So
and these people who aren't getting money from government are the ones complaining. It's like, why do you care if it's 100% or 5%? You're not getting any of this anyway.
Yeah, you're not going to get any. You see, people are looking for a free ride. But also those people, I love when people who have built nothing, made nothing, created no value, tell other people what they should do with the value they've created. It's like, no, if you have good ideas about how to build internet that comes from satellite and beams down to people for free, if you have a way to do that, and obviously if it's not free, then there's a cost to it because it's value, then why don't you build one? Oh, wait, it's because you can't build a satellite. Oh, wait, it's because you don't know anything about wireless technology communications. Oh, wait, it's because you've never built anything of value. No one wants to buy anything that you could make, and you don't add anything to society. So you're just sitting on the sidelines complaining. Until you make something, I don't have to listen to you. Let's be clear about that. Comment section on this show, bunch of complete lunatics, right?
Yes.
Smart ones, though.
But I'm sure that the majority of these people have created things of value. Comment sections on social media, not so much. Those are people who have, like Ben had this week, a whole lot of time on social media. That's not a good sign. If you find yourself being on social media too much, you need to fill your day with other stuff. I had a very busy week. I'm so tired. I'm so ready to go home today and sleep. I just want to sleep the whole weekend because I've been busy. So I haven't had time for social media. And you know what?
Good.
I feel better about that. Tired as I am, better about that than if I'd been spending the whole day scrolling. Like those losers who comment on these things. And they want to tell Elon Musk what to do with his money.
It's the worst of junk food because it's going into your mind, not your stomach.
Spot on.
It's just, hey, guys, that's not how business works, though. Hey,
can I bring up something else while we're talking about the media? It's 7:04. We got to take a break. Again, you see the show's live. We don't have a script, so we'll come back. I'll bring that up. It's something I noticed that's really starting to like annoy me, and maybe it'll annoy you too. And we've got a comedian jumping in to join us a little bit later on. We're going to talk about some sport, which we haven't done yet.
Definitely.
Plenty still to come. Don't go anywhere.
This is the last week that you can play with clipdrift.gold.co.za. You go onto this website, and obviously you get a chance to spin for a player. If you choose that player, whoever it may be, whatever they do on game day, they win points. They earn points through playing. But you spin the wheel, and you can win a prize. More importantly, you go into a draw. So even though if you haven't been playing this whole time, go to clipdrift.gold.co.za, and if you go into the draw, there are big prizes that are about to be dished out after this match.
Good morning. I wonder who he bummed that iPad off of.
Is that the one he was looking for that day?
Yeah, I think so. It's enormous. Is he taking? There's a certain kind of person who takes a picture with an iPad.
Yeah, it's our elders.
Old people.
It's our elders. Yes, yes.
No, there was a time. Yeah. There was a
So,
time.
okay, I got to get this off my chest too. I don't know if you guys watch, this stuff arrives on my social media because I don't watch TV.
Okay.
But we were talking earlier about how you shouldn't watch news TV, right?
Mhm.
It's funny as hell to me that whenever anyone dies, ENCA becomes like the funeral channel.
Oh, such a good point.
Isn't it wild? Like, have you guys seen ENCA anytime anyone dies? Like some third-rate actor, some politician you've never heard of, some like MEC for something in the Northern Cape. ENCA the whole day. You just see Dan Moyani like, well, we're giving, a funeral cover today. And it's literally as like they basically, I don't know if they're gunning for a clientele life sponsorship here.
Well, that's where the big money is.
But
That's
we're
the
going to do
telecoms.
cover-to-cover funeral insurance today because we are going to be covering this funeral all day. They literally do. They broadcast their speeches, the
Oh,
fucking
gosh.
coffin coming out of the car, the coffin going into the ground, the
Yeah,
mourners.
I've never thought of it like that.
Isn't it wild? They've become the funeral channel.
Karis, that means they also own the rights for your funeral, hey?
Not a chance. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna specifically in my will make sure that there's
Sure,
an
like-
absolute ban on any news. But it's so weird. Please tell me that I'm not the only one who's picked this up.
It is weird, but you kind of like credit where credit's due. They found a niche.
It's
'cause-
what they're good at. I'll give them that.
Their whole thing is they need views, right? So
I
when
don't even
someone
know.
dies,
That's
So I don't even know who it was. It could have been Pravin Gordon or someone who died the other day. And man, did these guys do morning till night, funeral.
Question though, do they cover any of the costs? Because also those kind
No.
of funerals I've seen, they'll cover the memorial, and the memorial is always in some hall and looks very beautiful and whatnot. And
I
then
don't
they'll cover the actual funeral, and I'm always like, yo, guys.
They are the funeral channel.
Some people they only took out a funeral cover for 50,000.
the silver package.
Yeah, it's just enough to cover friends and family. Now there's a whole nation that I need to
Embarrassing.
feed. Like, guys,
But it's actually a really good point you bring up. So ENCA probably
What is
should have a
that?
network. And they go, right, look, we'll give you 50K, but now we next to the coffin as it comes out. It's like the celebrities used to get top billing to go and give them money for their wedding.
Yeah, I remember
It's the
that.
same thing.
So there is a lot of that. There's a huge amount of attention seeking, and media will cover you if you give them enough money. Congo Chris says, Gareth, we're going to bury you in James's filthy car.
That's the send off.
Look at the car. Now, the only thing that James was worried about is that his mum, who sometimes watches the show, and I'm horrified. I just want to apologize to James's mum. If you've seen like some of the things that he's done and said on the show, it's really
We should get her in.
quite. He seems like such a decent.
James's mom.
He
is
was
the
raised
best.
well. He's a decent chap, but foul mouth when you're not looking, mom.
with a foul car, hey?
You're in a foul car.
Mm,
Very
mm,
bad.
mm, mm.
Anyway, Sanella says ENCA are the leeches of death. That's unbelievable. Seamus says black people love their funeral. Hey, that's stereotyping. Don't you go down the road that Ben went with the Jews this morning.
I wasn't stereotyping the Jews. I was just
I must
But it's
say,
true, black people love
industrious ways.
Black people go to funerals, they don't even know the person
Yeah,
who's
yeah.
being buried.
that's right.
Free food, it's a plate for them. It's hey guys, that thing is true.
No,
that's
it is
true.
It is true.
I'm sorry, but
So-
my people.
Can you imagine ENCA? They rock up with a plate and cameras.
No. They'll pitch up. They'll bring their cameras and their whole crew, and they'll all help themselves before even the family.
Yes.
And they'll go and sit down and eat.
And they'll be like, crew.
Yeah.
They
They
get their
will.
own table.
I'm telling you, it's like a craft table for them. Like, don't know who catered this. This is a good funeral. Like the last two we went to, not so good.
No.
The food here is good. They've got lamb. This is great.
In fact, they come with so these are the allergies. So please make sure.
Yeah, can you imagine? They like go to the family as the family's just lost this person. They're like, and ENCA come with their contract. They're like, well, we really prefer butter instead of margarine.
Please.
Can we have brown bread instead of white? And also, some of our people have allergies, like Cynthia says. So we'd prefer it. And also, you know that the road's a bit bumpy. If you guys could like get the family who are still crying to fill up the holes so that our big Obi truck can make it there on time.
Mm-hmm.
ENCA funerals, I think it's a smart business play. And you get those specialist reporters, you know, like you get those investigative journalists with like the UN bulletproof thing in the Middle East. You get a guy who just has the perfect somber tone and he's like on the ground.
Do you think Cyril pitches up at funerals for the free meals too?
Yeah, probably.
Of course.
Straight to the front of the queue.
I can give him pam, even with food. Give him pam. That's him.
Oh, man. Who's president while he's in the UN? And by the way, he went to the UN and he said very little about us and a whole lot about Palestine. I'm like, dude, focus on home. I know you've got this thing going, but focus on home. And also, you don't really speak for South Africa anymore. You're 40%, remember? You don't actually go to the UN and say, we as a nation, because you can't anymore. You can't do that. That would be like, because if you can, then Steenhuisen can also, and he can go, we the nation. You can't. You're under 50%. You don't represent the majority of people anymore. You got to be very careful what you start saying now, Cyril, because it's different. It's different post this election. You see, we put you in your place. Am I right?
Yeah, and he also still needs to get the buy-in of the GNU members. So you can't just be chief unless you guys are all in agreement.
And MK and those guys say that you're not even a real government of national unity. So there's at least 20% that definitely don't believe in you. Then there's the 20% who've joined with you to make it over 50. And they are like, maybe after this Tshwane thing, they're not going to want to be your friends anymore. So you're in a very tricky position. You got to be super careful about what you promise people right now, Cyril. And you need more of Elon's money than you think. Anyway, ENCA would ask for gluten-free bread and lacto-free butter, probably.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's just so embarrassing. It's like, honestly, you see the just morning till night coverage of funerals. It's weird. And I haven't been watching a lot of TV, so I might be completely wrong here, but that's what I see. It's very odd. It's like funeral time. I remember when Charlene Surtee Richards died, and they were like hanging around the house, like, you know, like how tow truck drivers hang around an accident?
Yeah.
They were like ENCA people with their cameras, like interviewing people. Let me tell you something. If you've just lost someone you really care about, the last thing you want is those people there, right?
Yes.
So undignified. And then they literally they film it as they bring out the coffin. It's so bad. It's so like disrespectful. And what business is it of ours? I say this as a person who actually did meet Charlene Surtee Richards a few times. I didn't know her well, but she came and did some shows when
she was nice.
Yeah, she
was funny.
And she was funny. And then they're talking about how poor she was when she died. And like, it's just so bad. I'm like, guys,
we don't need to know the family secrets. No,
have some dignity. Just stay away until it's time. I'm surprised they didn't go into the house and say, "Can we see the body, please?"
Start rummaging through the cupboards. Already.
Yeah. That's the next step. I wouldn't put it past them. Next thing, ENCA is going to go and rummage in the cupboards of
they
dead
mustn't
people.
try that, hey? Don't try that with black folks, though, and uncles. Don't try that nonsense.
You reckon they'll take them down?
They were like, you know, a lot of the times when people are mourning, they're not going to do certain things, but push them just enough and you'll see flames because they have nothing to lose. They're just like, it's like the Rahadis who just air out all the
Rahadis are my favorite.
Yes, they have nothing. For them, it's like, you know what, this is my final chance. This is, if I don't get this out now, I care. It's the same thing. You push those uncles enough, they're gonna fight you. It's done for you. It's done.
Sandile says they followed Pravin all the way to Durban. And Carl says, when my uncle killed himself, the first call I made was to Dan Moyane.
Stop.
Oh, man. I love this. Rebellious Ruth says, don't you find Jewish funerals just make so much sense, G? You've been to a few. Yeah, I love a Jewish funeral.
Lots of hip-hop, huh?
Lots of hip-hop. No, it's like a cheap pine box. You get buried the next day.
Yeah.
There's no complication. There's no like messing around, taking a whole week to plan things, state official funeral. Just put them in. And then people have a chance immediately to start dealing with it. You know? Unbelievable. I mean, you have to have that body sitting there for how many days so ENCA can film people filing past it. It's just so undignified. Deborah Patter would be perfect for the funeral game, says Slippery Pickle.
No.
She'd chase them around, smoking 2 cartons of smokes and holding an urn of coffee. So, what did you think of the dead person?
Well, there's different degrees, right? So if it was a murder, you throw in Deborah. If it was a natural causes thing, then Dan
is
get
fine.
in. Yeah.
Okay.
Guys, we got to talk about some sport because time is
Oh,
ticking.
Jesus, yes.
Okay.
Let's get to some
Because I'm going to
sport.
get kicked out in a bit and then there won't be anything.
All right,
Get us
let's do
kicked
it.
out.
That's
So,
what you guys do.
We'll kick
no,
you out.
No, you made a choice.
First of all,
like no, babe,
you're
can
not
we
doing
just
that.
correct
You're not doing that walking around at 6 a.m. thing anymore. So you technically could be here at 6, but you're still coming in at 6:30. So don't give us trouble.
It's your show. I'm just here for
So
a
come in at
feature.
6
Yeah,
because it's weird when you
don't
just
say we
walk in
kick
while
you
we've been
out.
talking
It's
for half
weird.
an hour. It's weird.
It's just weird.
All right, get to the sport. Here's Ben. This is the sport, and we got some betting odds with super bets too. Give it to us, Ben.
Yeah,
Give it
guys, it's
to
a
us.
big weekend of rugby because Eben Etzebeth is about to play his 128th Test match for the Springboks.
Is that what you grew that little?
Yes, I've got a
book
bookie
mark
for Eben here. And then
Bookie for
we
Eben.
we should all do this out of respect.
I can't. I have to grow one for like 6 years
No,
before
I
it
mean,
even
this
show
took
up.
me about 3 weeks, but I'm not telling anyone that.
Okay.
So it's a huge game because it's also the decider of the rugby championships. Now, we dropped the ball a little bit last week, or Marnie did, or also the defense did. Basically, the whole team played like crap last week, and we
Okay.
lost to Argentina in the heat in this place called Santiago. But this week, we're in Umbombela, which is a
Yeah.
great draw. All of
Nelspruit.
you have made the trip up there. It's going to be a hell of a draw this weekend.
Yeah.
It's great that we have these sort of like secondary stadiums you can go to. Ellis Park's cool. Cape Town Stadium is amazing. But a test match in Mbombela is the biggest thing that ever happened to that town.
Ah,
Great thing. Ibn will run out first, the most capped guy. He's 32 years old, so he's still got a way to go.
uh-huh.
But this oak is just such a national treasure. He really is. He's just larger than life. He's given so much to this team. And it's great that we can honor a guy like this with a game like this. And the Boks are going to run rampant. I feel this is the game that's going to come together. Marnie does start, but I don't think that's a terrible thing. They'll work it out. I think there's a good team, and they've been stuttering a bit with the team selections, but we're going all guns blazing for Eben. So that's 5 o'clock on Saturday.
Okay, cool.
Not that it has any bearing on the actual title. New Zealand will take on Australia at 9:05. But they're playing in Wellington. Even the All Blacks don't like it at Wellington.
No,
So
no
that's
one does.
9:05 if you like that. Also, lots of rugby, United Rugby Championships. So the URC is where all our local guys get together. It's like obviously the replacement for Super Rugby. We're now kind of going to that third full season, third into the fourth, because the Rainbow Cup also happened. This is the biggest thing that we have in rugby, and it's just showing that because the Boks are so much better than the other teams, it's because the Northern Hemisphere thing. So we can really appreciate and actually enjoy the fact that this is who we are now. We play against Northern Hemisphere teams. We can be classified as one, sure, if you really want. But these games are going to be good. And all the SA teams are now into this. So on Saturday, Lions will be taking on Ulster at 5-1. The Bulls will be taking on Edinburgh. Now, the Bulls obviously choked the final last year, so they've got lots to prove here. That'll be at 3. Connacht would be hosting the Sharks, who many think could be SA's top team this year because they got
Sucks.
the Sharks. They just won the Curry Cup. They won the other competition last year as well. So the Sharks have a lot to prove. Syracuse come back to kind of just, glue the whole thing together. And then the Ospreys, which are big Welsh birds, they'll be hosting the Stormers at 8:35. So shit tons of rugby, but the football is perhaps where the most tongues are going to be wagging right now. Like last week, Man City somehow managed to beat Arsenal, which was hugely disappointing for everyone because nobody wants to see Man City win a 5th title in a row. Nobody. We want to see Man City in court, and we want to see them get knocked out. That's all we care about this year, okay? I'm so tired of seeing that Haaland guy score all these goals. He's so much bigger than these football players. Like and he's good. Like I just hate the fact how good he is. So Man City are, of course, the team to beat. They are away to Newcastle, so they'll beat them 1:30. Chelsea's been hugely resurgent all of a sudden. They actually look like quite a dangerous team with their 757 players. They'll take on Brighton at 4. Arsenal taking on Leicester at 4. They're going to bounce back. They already bounced back. They won their Carabao Cup game 5-1 this week. And then the Wolves will be taking on James's team at 6:30. Now, James's team Lost
Because
to
of
Nottingham
Liverpool.
Forest, which is hugely
That's
embarrassing.
very embarrassing.
That's why his car is so dirty.
Oh.
Because his self-esteem is so low because Liverpool lost to Nottingham Forest a couple of weeks ago. So they got a chance to redeem themselves, but they'll have to keep winning the whole season to redeem themselves. They're away to Wolves. And then the big one for the weekend, Man United fans, again with the tears, because Spurs, who is traditionally a Jewish
Team
club,
of tears.
traditionally the Jews also like Spurs, Gareth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you
That's
go...
news.
Yeah, so Man United hosting Spurs, 5:30, big game. And of course, there is PSL action to get involved with as well because Chiefs are taking on Sundowns. That's the really big one locally. That'll be at 3 o'clock Saturday. And I'll tell you what, the rest aren't going to be
The
nearly as
Mutaungs
intense.
versus the Mutsepes.
It's a really big game because Chiefs, of course, we know they are the Man United of SA football.
Mhm.
Yes.
So yes, they will dazzle their fans. I mean, this week they beat Amazulu, to which people were saying, but who are Amazulu really?
Gavin says City and Arsenal was a draw, Ben.
Sorry, it felt like a loss. They were 2-1 up, and they got a guy sent off, and then it still hurts me. It hurts me.
And then someone else says here, don't lie. Signet says, don't lie, Ben. James's car hasn't been washed since they won the league.
Hectic.
That's also a fair point.
Oh,
That's
it's
been
a
a
long
very
time
long
ago.
time.
Sure.
That is a fair point. Yeah, so lots of football. There's lots of rugby. There is President's Cup golf on, but the Americans are already 5-0 up after only having 5 points they could have played for. It's such a one-sided waste of time, that President's Cup. It's nice in theory. Then they say that Asian golf is going to take a huge leap with this, but they just get dicked every time by the Americans.
Shame. That's terrible.
It's so sad. So if you go to Super Bets right now, obviously all of these markets are available to bet on, and you can play multipliers, single bets, whatever it may be.
Can we bet on Irben?
You can't just bet on Ibn, no. Although that would be a great bet.
It would be, huh?
I mean, imagine if there was a bet, how many tests will this guy get to? And when he debuted at 20, whatever it was, 128 is such an achievement.
That's incredible.
To what your body goes through.
Yeah, he's a monster. Sorry, Ben, you're having a stroke.
Sneeze. No, not just a sneeze. So what I think is a really good bet for the URC is that you can play a couple of multipliers while you're enjoying the Bok action, of course. So I've gone with Glasgow Warriors, defending champs, there to win their game.
Mhm.
Leinster, strong Irish team, the Lions, the Bulls, and Munster. I reckon they're all going to win. So it's not the biggest thing to worry about. And you get odds of 2.16. So that means for every rand that you bet, you can win 2.16 rand back. So you get more than double your money. I think that's a pretty good bet on Super Bets. So if you go onto that, of course, there's so much football you can throw in the mix there. It's just a very exciting weekend again. And rugby championships, I reckon the box by a handicap of around 15.
Okay.
Because last week they played so badly. And it was
It
so
was a bit
sad.
of a shock, hey?
And they had...
I think a lot of South Africans who were getting used to the high of winning had a bit of a shock last week.
Well, it's who we are now, right?
Oh.
And we put everything on the box winning. So when the box lost, it was really shitty. But they've got 10 of their better players back at home for Ibn's big day. I reckon you can put a handicap on South Africa at minus 15. Probably like minus 15.5. I think that'll also be a very good bet. So that, guys, is your big sporting weekend.
Very good.
I'm damn excited.
Thank you, Ben.
Going to play golf in the morning, roll in to watch Ibn take
That's
on
fantastic.
all of Argentina by himself.
So Super Bets supports responsible gambling, strictly under 18s. Winners know when to stop. The South African Responsible Gambling Foundation's toll-free counseling hotline 0800 006 008. It is Friday morning, and it's the end of the month. For lots of people, this is the best possible Friday of all Fridays, because we're also going into supposedly spring, as long as there isn't another cold front on its
There
way.
is.
I know.
Next week.
No, I don't want to hear about it. I'm just going to pretend it's not there. And maybe it'll improve. They keep revising the number. They're revising it up all the time. 3 degrees, 5 degrees, 7 degrees. Let's keep going up. Jason says, I walked into a couple making love in the back of a church while there was a funeral on. So
You guys have no decorum. Wait, firstly, it's in a church. Secondly, it's at a funeral. Like, how horny were you guys? Like, wait, what?
Yes, disgusting.
It's absolutely... Hey, guys,
At least
people
you
are
said-
crying here. I just lost my father. I just lost my dad. You
And you're
guys are
busy-
busy pumping.
At least he said making love in that description.
Yeah, he did say making love. He didn't say
You were
fucking.
pumping and
Yeah.
Either way, some things keep to yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm with
Keep
Simpiwe on
to
this.
yourself.
As someone who's only been into a church maybe a handful of times, I know that's not the place to do that.
On holy ground, imagine.
Imagine.
You guys don't fear anything. You guys do not fear anything in life. Anything.
All right. Sanela says, and this is an interesting point I want your thoughts on, Simpiwe. Between Ben sneezing and your coughing, we're having a great day on that sofa.
I was fine until I sat here.
Yeah,
Sanela
it's
says,
cold.
You've been sick for weeks.
Sanela says, a lot of broke uncles rise to prominence during funerals.
Oh, yes.
They feel like the CEO. They want to control everything, but with your money.
Oh, yes.
Yes, uncles.
Uncles
Oh.
are just so problematic.
Uncles. Big problem.
Bahata Chalet, let me tell you something with uncles, right? It's not just funerals. It's even with the lobola negotiations, with family meetings. If you guys are going to renovate, they think that they can be the minister of finance.
Fucking
Even
uncles.
and they'll tell you that, yes, so Ben must contribute 10,000, Gareth, you must contribute 15,000. They don't even know how much you guys earn. They just give you
No.
ridiculous amounts. And then when you ask him, okay, so if I'm taking out 10,000, how much are you taking out? Don't worry about me. I'm going to make sure that the project is successful.
Pat has a problem, and maybe you can address this problem, Ben, now that Simpiwe has addressed the uncle's problem. Pat says, it's just not right that we and thousands cannot watch our Boca or Proteus due to us not having DSTV.
Yeah,
Gator.
no, it's a product. What do you want, Pat?
Pat, what? Pat?
Pat?
Pat's uncle?
Okay,
Pat.
first- yeah, Pat, I don't know what to do there. Maybe go to a mate's house. Maybe they got DSTV. Go to a bar,
Or shell out some cash, Pat.
and also Pat. I mean, all those players.
I've driven past squatter camps. They have DSTV dishes on their roof.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
How bad is life
Your
for you, Pat? Come on,
priorities.
I'll help you, Pat.
Pat, also when it comes back to, forget about the Proteas. They just played Afghanistan. No one cared about that. But Eben, all those oaks, they need to be paid lots of money. You don't get to 128 test matches by just getting, fed pup and samp or whatever. So they've got to shell out a lot of cash. It's a massively financially
Pup and
strenuous machine, this whole Bok thing. So unfortunately, yeah, it's a massive cog. The broadcast deals are a massive cog in the success of the Springboks, whether we like it or not. But, you can turn a challenge into an opportunity, Pat. Meet younger guys, maybe. Go
Who
on their
knows?
prize.
Maybe that's what Pat's into. Juliana has an honest question for us. Why does
Pat's question was
TRN...
honest.
No, there are lots of honest questions, but that's how Juliana starts the question. Honest question. Why does TRN not allow for donations on the channel or a Patreon? Okay. So, first of all, we're a business, so we're not a charity. We don't need you to hand out money to us. We're not like Cyril going to Elon and there we go. Like, look at these
Hands.
two. This is the symbol of Cyril, right? Give me your money. So we're not a charity. We don't expect anything for nothing. We have terrific clients and sponsors who we work hard to bring out on the show, and they're selling stuff. We want to introduce them to you. It works. But also, I don't want you giving me your money, because then you're going to tell me what to do on this show, and I'm not going to listen to you. So it's going to end badly for all of us.
Yeah.
And I'm so tired of people going on the internet and asking for money from complete strangers. I think it is so distasteful. I really do. If you're starting a Patreon or a Please Fund Me, GoFundMe or whatever, because you want a titty operation, or you need to straighten your teeth, or you need to buy a new pair of sneakers, I don't need to help you with that. And neither should anyone else, including Pat. I don't think Pat should have to pay for someone else's sneakers. Pat's struggling to get her own DSTV going.
Where was Pat
You
buying
must
you-
pay for your own shit. Where did this come from that everybody else must pay for your stuff? You pay for your stuff. And if you can't afford it, then you can't have it. That's what my dad told me at age 3, and I remember it. I was like, Dad, I want this. Dad, I want this. He's like, you can get that when you have money. But Dad, I'm 3. Then you'll have to wait a while.
You don't have it now.
Right.
It's just like that. And then you loved it when you got
Delayed
it.
gratification.
When you got it, it was a great day.
Oh, my God. Look, James got his car. He has no respect for it.
0.
Doesn't even wash it. Look at that car. Disgrace.
So Pat, if you're over 70 and you can't watch, I get it, but you got to make a plan, Pat. We all made plans in our lives.
Yes,
Get
so-
younger friends.
There we go.
Maybe get the rest of you 70-year-olds together, chip in. Oh, Pat, I don't know what to tell you. I don't want to sound dismissive either, because my parents are in their 70s and I dearly love them. But you got to make a plan, Pat.
Yeah.
Because put it this way, If the Springboks and the Proteas and all these teams are not on DSTV, they're going to go to shit. And then they'll be ranked 6th, 7th. Okay, the Proteas are out of this conversation. Then they'll be ranked 6th, 7th in the world, and then you won't want to watch them. And then who wins then, Pat?
Listen,
Nobody.
Migs makes a very good point about all of this. It kind of doesn't put a good light on Simpiwe. Remember, everybody, Simpiwe got that Stanley Cup for free just due to James's mom.
Yeah.
Well, y'all, let me clear up. I believe in just sharing my wish list with people.
Oh, I know you do. You have many times.
Yes, right? And James's mom, you know, God bless her soul, was just like, hey, you know, here you go.
Is Pat James's mom?
I don't know. James's mom, first of all, isn't that old. And second of all, Pat
she probably can afford DSTV
Pat is
as
now
well.
listen, guys, please stop asking other people for money. Just it's wrong, okay? Just stop it. Like when did you all become charity cases?
Government.
You know, the last time I took a cent off of my parents, I was like 18. And I know that if I needed it, they would help me. Okay, but I'm an adult man now, and it is now my job to help other people. But I'll do that willingly. I'll one of my friends needs something, or if there's a really good cause that I want to support, I'll help them. But this nonsense of going around asking for stuff, it's like, come on. I hate this. I really do. I think it's so undignified. Congo Chris says, imagine if this comment section had the power to super chat and inject on the show. It would be a fucking disaster. Yes, it would. And imagine if I gave you that power by letting you pay for it, because then you'd think you owned it.
Yes, exactly.
Terrible
Entitlement.
idea.
Yeah.
Terrible idea.
Especially Chris.
As Candace Owens says, life is tough. Get a helmet. Yes. 23-year-old life coach influencers tell people that if they're manifesting something, they'll get it. That's where it comes from, says Raven.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, that's bad.
Yeah.
That's the biggest scam ever.
Ooh,
But
that's
sadly,
bad.
they're manifesting on the sideline. That's where the money's coming in.
Carl DeSantis says, guys, you're being super disrespectful to Pat Simcox. Just tell them who Pat Simcox is, Ben.
Pat Simcox was an old Protea. Well, Pat Simcox was one of those oaks that looked like he was 50 when he was 20. You know, the old sort of regime, like he would
I
smoke a
remember
pack
Pat
a day
Wayne,
while
course.
playing, always on the
Right.
beers. Pat was one of the original sort of Protea icons.
Bitcoin But says, can I pay R5 for my comment? Now we're talking. You know what I think would clear up a lot of the noise and nonsense on social media? Is if you made people pay to comment. So if you really if you feel, it's also like when people say, oh, I'm really, really upset about what's going on in Pakistan at the moment. And you say to them, how upset are you about Pakistan really? Like if I gave you a free ticket to go there and pick up a gun and fight with them, for example. Oh, Simpiwe, you're right. Oh my God. Sneezing and coughing going on over here this morning. What's happening with you
It's
two?
cold.
It has
That's
to be
all I-
cold.
It's Arctic. Okay. So as I was saying before I was interrupted by all the body sounds from this sofa over here, if you really care about something, you should actually put some skin in the game. I think it would be great to go to everyone who's commented on Russia, Ukraine, Gaza, Biden, Harris, Trump, people who get really fired up about this stuff and say to them, how much? Prove it. Show us your money.
They're not going.
They're not going, right?
They're not going.
Well, you
So-
know that everyone has
and I
the-
reckon after 3 comments where you haven't paid, you haven't shown that you're willing to part with some money for something you say on the internet, then we should disable your account. It's
Well,
like,
you
you're a
should,
bullshit artist.
you should pay $1 a day for having your Ukraine flag on your profile pic. And then there'll be the social currency.
And it can go to Ukraine, the money.
Look, I've had the profile pic of Ukraine for 2 years now, which means you have to pay $1 a day for 2 years.
Yeah.
Just come here with your today it's blacked out, tomorrow it's the Palestine. Today, if you really care, let's put some money in, and then all these platforms can then say, right, we've raised $7 million
And give
for
it to
this,
them.
and it'll go to, and then that virtue signaling stuff will actually be a business.
What a good idea.
People will not give a shit. Simple as that.
Okay. It's basically an ad site. You promote your post accordingly. Well, that's what they do with boosting, but I'm saying the entry level stuff. You get 3 free comments per day. But if you want to post a 4th one about something that you feel very strongly about, you got to pay for it. That would stop so much of this stuff.
Yeah, I think you get 1 free, and that then
1 free.
and that activates a window saying "cough up for your your causes now. You care so much. You want to add hope?
There goes the internet. People are not gonna talk, okay? They're not gonna comment. They're not gonna do nothing.
Got to have conviction in life, guys.
Yo.
It's late. I think I should
M
go.
says in the comments, I've liked Garrett's parents since they made him pay back the money, his tuition fee for law school. They did, because I didn't finish my law degree. They made me pay it back.
Good.
Sure.
Pay back the money. And I did. I had to. It was terrible. It was
Lesson learned.
such wasted money, but at least they didn't waste their money. They made me waste their money, and then they made me pay for it. Bad things happen because you deserve them.
Everything in life is your fault.
You're saying James deserves his car?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you following Matt Walsh, Gareth? His new movie, I Am a Racist, is a big game changer. Am I a Racist? Sorry. I've definitely heard about it. I haven't seen the movie, but I think once it's available in this country, it would be fun to see. Because that's another thing that I'm really tired of, is like, we talked about this briefly on Wednesday morning, and it links to the news stuff we were talking about, is News 24 saying Jan Bry was a racist for handing out Boerewors rolls to only white people. Turns out it was complete nonsense. But the supply and demand for racism are totally out of kilter, right? There isn't a lot of racism in South Africa. In fact, I was talking to a dude at the gym the other day, black guy. He says to me, there were some serious conversations going on here. He's like, the problem with this gym, he says, there are too many blacks. I'm like, dude, you can't say that. And he honestly, this is how good race relations in this country are. That a black man can say that to a white man, and I can laugh and say to him, you can't say that. I think that's a healthy situation. But they're looking for it, right? So they have to go and set up a camera or whatever, or just send some journalist who's probably looking for a free Boerie roll.
The journalist was there primarily for the Boerie roll.
I'm thinking that's what it is. It's like ENCA go for the funeral food. I think News 24 pay their people so badly that they go to places where Jan Bry is making Boerewors rolls, and they try to prize one loose from him. And then he's like, this is your fourth one. Yeah. And I know where you work, and they should start paying you now. It's embarrassing. So he gives them the Boerewors roll. But in this case, they made up this whole story, and the supply and demand are not equal. There's a huge demand in the media for racism, and this is what this Am I Racist? Matt Walsh's film, as I understand it, he's going around exposing how there's a whole group of hustlers. They're race hustlers. These are people who are making money by getting white ladies around a table to explain their white guilt. It's like they actually pay $5,000 to sit around a dinner table and have a black woman tell them how bad they are, and they're paying for this. Can you imagine anything more ridiculous than if I sent a white? I start
this cult? Because
you could
easy money.
If you can get people to feel guilty about something, then you can make them pay for it. Go for it, Simpiwe. I'll help you set it up.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'll even market it here on the show. Are you feeling guilty about your whiteness? Simpiwe is going to reprimand you for 3 hours. You could pay her 5,000 rand.
And get that dominatrix and just slap them at the end as well.
Exactly.
Yes. In fact,
that's a very good package deal.
There
we go. Okay.
It might end in tears, but hey.
You need a black dominatrix.
No white tears. That's very important, because white tears are manipulative.
Yeah.
You don't.
But they need to let it out.
No.
Of the guilt.
Yeah, they must be guilt. They let it out. They let it out by
afterwards.
giving you money.
Yeah, Cynthia, too many tears. Another $100 from you.
All right, we've solved all of these problems this morning. I want to bring on our guest because he came all the way to see us this morning. Go away, Ben. Thank you. We've finished.
Yeah, okay, bye. It was nice.
I just want to say in closing, you must watch Monsters, the Menendez brothers story on Netflix, and next week we'll unpack it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So we've got homework.
Yeah,
I don't know if I can watch it.
You mustn't
I'm
watch
very
it.
sensitive, but I will do my research on it.
It's hectic, and we'll discuss next week.
Thanks, Ben.
Bye,
Cheers.
Ben.
Cheers, Ben. All right, let's get our guest in here. I'm very excited to meet him. First time I've ever met him. And he's a comedian in South Africa. He's somebody who has done the Fringe World Best Weekly Comedy Show winner. This is incredible. This is good. This is very good.
Oh, wait, how's it, guys?
Dalen Oliver.
Dalen.
Very nice to see you, dude.
We can stretch. Here we go.
There we go.
Thanks for having me here. Yeah.
How you doing?
Fresh, early morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, comedians are not used to this. You guys drink at night and do your shows, and you don't wake up early.
I had a couple of black robos now, so
You
yeah,
good?
look at that.
They'll give you
That's
that.
trying to be
I'll give you
future
some
forward.
fuel in the tank.
Working off the dad bod.
Did you hear the shit we were talking about just now?
I did.
What did you think of that? Comedy material or rubbish?
South Africans always have the conversation, which is good.
Okay.
And that's important. We're not scared of conversations.
No.
The world is.
Mm,
Yeah.
I agree with you.
We're honest.
yeah,
and we can still disagree and have a braai.
someone just got
That's
back
true.
from America and told me that over there at the moment, every conversation is hugely like trepidatious. People are so scared of saying the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Like, let's say you, for example, are a Kamala supporter and you're with a bunch of Trump supporters. You can't say anything for fear that they'll actually throw you out,
Yes.
right? And vice versa. But here, you can. We just ripped on the president for like half an hour,
Yes.
Yeah.
and none
Calling
of us
him
are going to.
cupcake.
None of
Yes.
us are going to go to jail.
No, not at all.
You
And
know?
in some countries, you're not allowed to speak about the presidents. I remember when Bob Mugabe
Oh yeah.
was still alive.
Yes.
In Zim, if you're a comic and you spoke about him,
Yo.
they'd show up, whether it's security or police, and you could get arrested. It was illegal. So
Well, don't just use Bob, because we always choose like African dictators.
yes,
But Governor of California, Gavin Newsom, wants to make it illegal to mock him.
wow. Did he go to
Yes.
private school? What's his background?
No, here's the story. So first of all, he looks like he's got perfect hair and he's perfectly California, right?
Yeah.
But this guy, apparently there's a meme going around. You know, when people take AI and they make it look
Yes.
like someone said something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we don't believe politicians anyway. So what difference does this make?
Yeah.
He wants to make it illegal to do that. In other words, to present something as true when it actually isn't. And haven't we always had to do? Don't you remember the old days of like those magazines that you used to get with like baby born with 8 heads?
Yes.
Or aliens abducted my husband.
Yeah.
Or, that was fake news, but we didn't call it that.
We went with it.
We called it entertainment.
But we also need more South Africans in the world, because think of how honestly we grow up. Like all of your imperfections become your nickname,
Yeah.
or people don't go, oh, shame. They're like,
Did
no.
you have a nickname?
Me, yeah, they called me Snorkel.
Why?
Because I have a confident nose. It's not big. Yeah,
Turn to the side there.
there we go. It's beautiful.
Turn to the side. That's
It's
a
not good 90 degrees.
That's
yeah?
a powerful aquiline nose. I don't think that's embarrassing.
Yeah,
Snorkel.
but I mean, listen, I grew into my nose and my ears, so as
Thank
all
God.
of us did. With
But you know,
our
as you
looks.
get older, your nose and ears keep growing. And
Yeah.
Yeah, but then my head probably got bigger. My body moved a bit more into the dad bod space with no children. But yeah,
So tell us about you, Dalen. I mean, it's
Me?
the first time I met you. Yeah. Tell me about
so
you.
yeah, born and bred in Cape Town. Growing up, I wanted to play cricket for the Proteas. How's that? I played.
Really?
Yeah, I played junior provincial cricket, was Western Province under 19 captain, 2 years in the academy. Then at 21, I started stand-up comedy. That was in 2010. I was up at UCT, yeah, for my sins. I'm a qualified high school maths and history teacher.
Wow.
I got offered a master's scholarship for history, and I'd finished history honors. And then they said, "You want to do a master's?" I said, "No, I want to tell jokes in observatory."
And
You
they thought,
idiot! Why
And
did
in
you take that opportunity?
Do you know how proud my colored parents were? They were like, "Go, boy!" No, but they've been great. They've supported me.
That's quite cool.
Sure.
Mm.
I'm always interested though in why people choose comedy, because it's damn hard.
Yeah, it's and going on into. So I'm doing this 14 years, and then people always say, "What do you tell the next generation?" Without sounding audible, you guys are in entertainment as well. You go, "Don't do it. It's difficult. If you're gonna do it, stick it out. Be resilient and be ready for all the rejection,
Right.
because your idea of the art is theaters, beautifully shot specials,
Yeah.
Mm.
everything's that's shiny about it. And then my first gig was in a dingy bar in Athlone, beautiful, above a bottle store. Yeah, above the Lincoln Tavern, Joker's Comedy Club. Shout out to Melody Chevron.
I know where that is.
You know where that is? Yeah, I'm sure you've had many a good evenings in the Athlone area. Near Golden
Absolutely.
Dish.
Yep.
Yeah, there we
Maybe
go.
we were there on the same night at
You
the
were
Golden
there.
Dish.
I saw this white dude, and I was wondering, what are you doing here?
Seriously?
So, yeah.
Were you-
No.
Okay, because I have been to the Golden Dish.
I know.
Oh.
Do you know where I remember you from as a youngster, though? Do you remember Fubar back in the day?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were still DJing. We used to do.
Do you know what FUBAR stands for?
No.
You don't.
No.
Fucked up beyond all recognition.
Oh,
wow,
my
and we had
words.
under 18 parties there. What a time, Claremont
Yeah.
Main Road.
Yeah.
What a time. We did not know that. We told our parents we went to Spa.
But yeah, I went to the Galaxy
Yes.
one night, and then after drinking at the Galaxy, and we were up on the 3rd floor, you know, where they do the karaoke and shit,
Yeah.
right? And then we went afterwards to the Golden Dish to have a bastard.
Bless. And
See?
on a car bonnet.
My colored credentials are good, dude.
You've lived, eh?
I have lived.
And you had your food on the bonnet of the
Yeah,
car.
absolutely.
Nice.
Bonnet.
Yeah.
Oh,
And if
whoa.
you don't have that food, you will have the most terrible hangover of your life. But if you do have that food, you'll be fine.
It was like ritual. If you
Yeah.
went to Galaxy, student nights were on Thursdays. So if you went on a Thursday or Friday, whatever day it was, we went Thursdays. And then afterwards, you go to Golden Dish and you have whatever your choice of Gatsby, salami. And then you must have
And a
it on-
bastard.
Yeah, we didn't have that because
didn't have a
I
bastard?
knew my father. So I chose
You chose life.
I chose life. You chose trauma. And that's okay because you were inebriated. Is that the
Tell
right
me,
word?
is it harder to be a teacher or a comedian?
It's teachers are the rock stars of the world. First
Okay.
of all, my mom was a teacher for like 30 plus years. And South Africa is interesting because you're dealing with kids from different spectrums. So socially,
Oh, I thought you were just talking
economically-
about the autistic spectrum because that's a whole thing now too.
That's another thing
Every
as well.
fucking kid's
Yeah.
on the autistic. My kid's on the spectrum. No, you're just a shit parent and your kid's out of control.
Stop with the gentle
Oh,
parenting.
please.
Parenting
Am I
stuff.
right?
I don't have kids yet, so I can't comment.
Yeah, but you're allowed.
I'm allowed to.
Yeah.
So I do this. Before I was married, I'm married for a year now, right? And before I was married, the first time I moved out. So I moved out late. I moved out to my parents' house at 26, which is late for people of color. Is that?
Is it?
No.
No, Sims is too. She's
No,
she's,
that's early,
she's
sorry.
racking up the
My
years.
apologies. It's early for people of color. It's late for white people in South
Yeah,
Africa.
I think that makes sense.
Does that make sense?
You think so? I don't know. Hey,
When did you move out?
When did you move out?
I moved out probably 22, 23.
Not a
He's-
chance. I would
Oh, I
never.
promise you.
I was studying, taking a train home, happy with the home cooked meal.
Yeah. No, listen, it was a mistake.
Yes.
If I could go back, I
You'd
would have
do
stayed
it,
a lot
yeah.
longer. Free meals, accommodation, washing, all of that stuff, right?
Yes.
I'm with you. Okay. That's
So-
interesting though.
Yes.
I wonder how many, if we did a like survey of South Africa now, have people started leaving the house later
I think so.
or
They should do it later.
Way later.
I recommend it because, like, when I did this, you know, when people advertise places, you don't know that it doesn't come with furniture. Like, no one tells you this as a young adult. No one tells
Was
you
that
this.
your first scam?
I was like, I thought the place, the pictures had
comes
a couch.
with furniture?
Yes, the pictures had a couch. You're like, no, if you read it says there's no furniture.
So you
in here.
walked into this place and there was nothing.
Nothing, right? Anyway, so my lounge was then a camping chair and the cooler box.
Oh, mid-rent dudes.
There we
That's a
go.
pack.
There we
Mid-range
go.
dudes.
There we go. I feel like you have trauma. Is there a story? What's his name? What did he do to you? What was in the cooler box?
We shall not name and shame.
So then, when my friends because you know you have your friends who studied hard, bless them, and who have mainstream careers,
I was never friends with those people.
right? But they are the they are the ones who don't look down on you, but go. You must get your life in order.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, do you have an RA? And you're like,
Yeah.
oh my word, what is
What's
an
that?
RA? Jeez, I could drive a VW. This is a difficult
If
question.
if I ever went to a braai or a
This
party
is
and
trauma,
someone
yeah.
said to me, "Do you have an RA?"
Yeah. But people ask that question.
Yes, though you must run.
Run,
Let
eh?
me tell you something. If somebody says that to you in your 20s, if someone says, "Do you have an RA?"
Yeah.
Just run. They are obviously working for an insurance company or a
Yes.
financial services and they're trying to sell you something.
Yes.
Get away.
It's Hezbollah.
Right. Or it's Cyril trying to get his hands on it. Cyril
over
trying
here.
to get some of your money.
Do you think Elon's gonna?
Give him money.
Well, no, we're not giving money. Just like extend that satellite to South Africa.
I don't know.
Depends how much Cyril gets.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's
Anyway.
the issue.
Look, I've got a satellite on my iPad. I've got what? Oh, wait, no, it's not. It's solitaire. Oh, I'm just playing solitaire on my iPad at this funeral.
So what I would do with my friends who would visit, and my one friend, because of the parenting, he would go, "You're almost 30. You need to get your life in order. Like you can't have camping chairs and the cooler boxes."
Yeah.
It's like, this is amazing though. And then I said, I don't want to be rude, but you must worry about what's immediate in your life. And he said, what do you mean? I said, your son is 10 and can't read properly. This is. Then he got offended. I'm like, but she's at a private school. You're spending money.
But isn't it weird? Like, he felt okay
to tell me,
giving you advice about your camping chairs and your apartment, your cooler box.
Thank you. I like that you said chairs, the camping chair.
But
So no, but
when you told him that he should get his 10-year-old reading, oh, you're not a parent. How dare you? I'm like, please.
And listen, if we can argue and clash, but still break bread afterwards, then it's cool.
Yeah, but if people mention RAs, you don't want to break bread.
No. I probably can't afford to then. What kind of bread is that?
So here we go. Some comments here. Someone says you have got a real nose for cocaine.
A lot of people told me that.
Is that a compliment?
I don't know. Well, if you work in corporate, it might be. I don't know. I'm highly functional.
Congo Chris says, I think I saw Dalen at Century City this year. He's hilarious.
Thank you,
Very
Congo
good.
Chris. I appreciate you. Could have been.
Yeah, possible. Dalen, I met him at the Perth Fringe Festival. Funny motherfucker, says Vincent.
Vincent, appreciate you.
Very good. You see a lot of
Australian dollars.
You've got fans here all over the place.
Good people.
I don't know where this comes from, but MM says my husband has 2 dicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that person who just says random stuff because they want to be part of the conversation.
Yeah, I think that comes from nowhere.
Yeah.
And MM, you need no further participation in the comment section. All right, we'll be fine if you just take it easy for the next 7 minutes. Take the morning off and be on your own for a bit. Let's just see what else is going on here. The chair did its job. Where are there RA people in SA? I need to sell them my bread, says Bitcoin Boot.
It's a wild name, Bitcoin Boot.
Bitcoin Boot. That Don Kitty says, so this mate of his was sitting on the floor while telling him he needs to get his shit together. And there's only one chair.
That's cute. Very detailed story. That's a Caucasian, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely white person. So much detail. The person was standing in person. I don't know what. That's like a crime scene. Was he standing? Was he sitting? How did he enter the house? I was in a camping chair and my feet were on the cooler box. Also, if you visit, you must bring your own stuff. I would do that. If I had friends, I'd bring paper
Why
plates.
does this sound like a bride? Like B.O.B. Like
Yes.
Bring your
I
own
think that's
booze.
how we should live in South Africa. Just if you want to, because we cater for people, cater in inverted commas, because food's our love language.
Mhm.
So
That's true.
when people come, we want to entertain. It's
Yeah.
expensive.
It's hugely
And
expensive.
people just assume whatever it is, food, drinks, it's on you. No. Bring your own paper plates. And yeah.
Sipiu is
I must wash
horrified.
Yes. Why? Now I must wash
Sipiu is
dishes.
horrified.
Why must I wash dishes? I have no
Bring
share
your
with paper plates.
paper plates.
I thought we were friends after the man in Randburg.
Sipiu is like, she responded like the Queen of England would. If you
Yes.
said, if you ate with the wrong fork, she's
Yes.
like,
I was still bring your own paper plates.
Paper plates, yeah, it's a winner. I mean, it makes things easier. If you give the list to your friends of what to bring, then you know it's going to be a good time because then there's no cleaning afterwards, and then everybody gets food, and then everyone takes home, and it works.
I'm with you, dude.
Yeah.
That's also easier.
But I have been told I have a cocaine nose, which is weird.
Well, don't take it personally. I mean, it's
No.
just one person in the comment section.
Listen, if
They say terrible things about us all the time. I wouldn't get upset.
oh no, I'm not getting upset. I'm like, if coke
You
was
looked like you were a bit fragile there for a second.
No, I got sinus problems. That's why I'm fragile. That's the only drugs I do. That's what I was gonna say, guys. If you got like Dix or Everbus or some Carenza Linktagon and ACC together.
Oh my gosh.
What a time! You're gonna have a great day.
Oh man! All right, when are you doing your next show?
So I'm in Joburg. I've been traveling for the past year. I spent 4 months out of the country.
That's good. And you obviously did. That's Australia.
Yeah, so I was in Australia for a total of 2 months, did 5 cities and did 91 shows. And then I was in
Nice.
Perth in Feb at Fringe World Festival. Show won a weekly award, which was cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was fun. I came back home, South Africa. Love South Africa, first of all. And because when we say we're traveling, people go, are you leaving? And it's wild. It's the first thing people go, are you leaving? You go, no, I love my country. I love our people. Like, we're genuinely the best people in the world because we're the X factor. If we were in the UK or Europe, we'd be the best country because South Africans don't understand what no means.
Yeah.
We don't understand what failure means.
Yeah.
We don't understand what it means if a door's closed.
I love this.
We're the MacGyvers of the world. We
Yes,
figure things out.
we make a plan.
We make a plan. The world is soft. Like, the fact that they still have the audacity to complain if a train is late.
I know.
And then without stereotyping, I'm like, back home, a train could be burning without even. And then everybody just gets on with their day and does what they have to do. And we didn't even get the email. We heard someone say, the train's burning, a few stations died. And then,
Well, a guy who's still on fire
He's still on
literally walks up to you and goes, "There's a train on fire." You're
and
like,
you're like, okay.
all right.
Yeah. And then you must move on.
I'm sorry, I can't piss on you at the
Yeah.
moment. I just peed.
Yeah. I must do it now. But people don't
Unbelievable.
get that, right? So, yeah. So good to be home traveling. Was at the
But
Arts
what
Fest.
did you think of Australia?
Australia is interesting. They, so like I said at the start, we honest and open about conversations.
Sure.
So
They're not.
Australia is not.
No.
Yeah. And this is where you're proud to be South African, because we had apartheid, we had democracy. Yes, we're not where we want to be economically and socially, but we speak.
Yeah.
And that's important,
Yes.
because
Agreed.
the talking will lead to the growth. And 30 years post-democracy, I think all South Africans are going, okay, how do we do this thing to make it better?
Right.
Government of national unity, if you keep fighting, that's good for us, because you're keeping each other accountable. If
Mhm.
they're not fighting, some people we must worry.
Yeah,
'Cause
because
that
then their
means-
hands are in the till.
We must worry. And as long as Gaten is working on his summer body, it's good. It's good.
Gaten's the greatest.
Yeah.
I
So
love him.
we talk about things, which is important. And we have our problems. So a lot of
Sorry, Shaq's Life says, just proving how great South Africans are. If a truck overturns on the road, we help them
Yes.
to clean up.
we're the best. We're the best. Like
South Africans help.
we
get involved.
We're sincere. We're
Yeah.
street smart. We got street credit. We're
That's
not
right.
soft.
That's very good.
Yeah, we got sympathy and empathy. We're cool people, man. And without being cliche, the Springboks legit represent so much of that sincerity, because
Do you bring them up in your show?
I speak about them, but bigger picture, like if the world knew the circumstances each individual comes from, but also the adversity that they face to get there and then dominate like that,
Mm.
and then the way they represent South Africa culturally, racially, religiously, you go, this is where we want
Yeah.
to be
Mm.
as a nation. So it's not cliche. And a lot of the times the globe, when in my shows, when I speak about the Springboks, they think we're arrogant.
Yeah.
They think they're like, oh, like we're not arrogant. We're so proud because they represent so much more. And other countries don't have that pride for their national teams.
I agree
Even South
with you.
Africans, like if we're strangers, and I would greet random South Africans on the travels. If I hear the accent, I'd greet you. And then we
Sure.
would have a conversation. 10 to 1, if we're out, we'd break bread, have a drink, go to a show. It would be a sincere moment, exchange details. But over, if it's in the States, I haven't been yet, but if it's Americans, if they hear American accent, they don't just speak to another American. It's that look. It's exactly that look.
But
They're
better,
weird.
they're better than Europeans. The Europeans are the worst.
In
'cause
the
they,
bubble.
they just ignore each other completely. I mean, like
Yeah.
people in Britain on the underground, they don't
At
even.
all.
You might as well not be there.
Yes.
Like they got earphones or like headphones on, and they got glasses on or whatever,
Yes.
they got, like hoodies or they do not interact at all with each
At all.
other.
That
It's
is
you
so
might as well be
sad.
on the subway on your own.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Very weird.
My wife was
And
with
if you
me.
say hello, they think
They
think
freaked
you're
out.
crazy. Yeah.
We greeted a German lady in Berlin, and she had a nice dog. And we were like, hi. And she looked at us and said, do I know you? And then I went, I don't know.
So Jesse Daniels says Dalen and I went to school together. Superamoras.
Superamoras. Yeah, Jesse was at
What,
Wyman
wait,
Boys.
say that
Mm.
that name again.
Jesse Daniels.
No, the
So-
school.
Superamoras.
Yeah, that's our school's motto, never give up.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ben
So-
was there as well, I think.
yeah. Is it?
I think so.
Okay. So I think
Well,
that-
for the few like 6 months he went to school because he was raised in the wild.
yes. But he looks, what's he now? Like 18? How old is he? He's lived a life.
Ben's 40.
He's a, Wyman Boys are weird like that. But cool. Jesse's good people. Yeah.
All right, very good. So there are lots
Yeah.
of people in here who are very big fans of yours. I'm pleased to see this.
That's cool. Yeah.
Except there was one person who said that you are the whitest person of color he's ever seen.
Bless you. Now give me land if you're that confident about it.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, but yeah, that's also good when it's a little ambiguous and people aren't sure.
Yes. Well, I get that.
That's
'cause
lekker.
I'm Oliver. So they're like, oh, you're Oliver. I'm like, no, no.
Oliver. Oh,
But
very
for a
good.
certain price. Ja, meneer. Ek is hier vandag vir
10
die-
to 1. When last did I hear that? Cape colored in PE. Says that's Melissa. She's a Cape colored in PE. She just likes that expression.
Yes. Oh,
You said 10 to 1 when you see a South
10
African.
to.
I
is
love that. I
Is that a
love
Cape Town phrase?
No, I don't know. I've used it.
Yeah, but you're Cape Colored.
Well, my
With your
credentials,
galaxy.
my credentials
On a
are very,
bonnet.
yeah,
On a bonnet.
very skeptical about that. Judith says it's true. Europe is cold, and I'm not talking about the weather.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have a warmth to us.
We got a
the,
warmth,
the
man.
chances are also of South Africans meeting up anywhere in the world, they're going to actually do cool shit together. They'll
Yes.
they'll have drinks, they'll make things happen. Most people in the world, when they say, we must definitely make a plan, they don't mean that.
Yes, a lot of Cape Townians are like that.
Yeah.
A coffee in Cape Town is not a
Yeah.
coffee. That's Joburg's energy is great. I genuinely love this city, right? And the cool thing is, over the years, coming back and forth, and when my friends were still staying here, like a braai is really a braai in Joburg,
Yeah.
which is the best. Hey, we got a braai later, come over.
Right.
Oh, wow, we met each other in the week. Yeah, I said we're going to have a braai.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Do you know how many coffees and braais I'm waiting for in Cape Town from my own friends?
Yeah.
I love you
And
guys.
you grew up there.
Yes.
Exactly. Never happens. Keep them guessing, Dalen. Eat a Gatsby and listen to Kweskom Bass. Then they'll really be confused.
Yeah. That is life.
It is.
Or dozy.
It is,
yeah.
Dude, I love when I discover some part of South Africa that I've never understood before.
Yes.
Like the first time I went and did a DJ gig in Tongaat.
Where's that?
Okay.
Hey, bro. Let me tell you, Tonga, KZN. It's like all Indian crowd.
Yes.
And the party only starts at like 12 o'clock at night.
Wow.
So you get there and you think, oh my God, the place is empty. I've screwed up. There's a disaster. But then everyone gets out of one car at midnight and the place is full.
Wow.
I don't know where they come from.
Leave that one car.
car seems
That,
to be
that one car's a neighborhood icon.
like
leave,
an Uno.
leave that
Just-
one car. One trip. We all had that
And-
one car.
and places like the Galaxy and places like this Afrikaans thing that I went to a while ago. Remember I told you?
Yes.
I went to this Afrikaans place. I've lived in Pretoria all my life. I didn't know this place existed. And there are these Dutchmen doing like this
Lekker.
kind of sokkie dance.
The
and
long
shit.
arm.
I was like, this is amazing.
I can't sock you. Can you sock?
No, I can't.
I wish
There's
I
not a
could.
chance.
Like just looking, you know, it's
No,
the
I know
best.
my weakness.
When it's a big frikkie, but there's just twinkle toes.
yeah, he
across the
can
dance
move.
floor.
Eh?
He
And they,
moves.
and they
Gooi. But that's South Africa, and you've got to enjoy each city and each province for what it is. We can never compare. So, and I
but
think
this
we
is
do
also
that.
great for comedians. You have endless material, right?
Endless, and we're always adapting as South Africans in everyday life. Just think about it: how many people you meet, different race, religion, culture, language. So each time you're interacting with someone, you're trying to find what's our meeting point,
Yeah.
and once you find it, then we can be in that same WhatsApp group. And it's the same with comedy. So as a new comic, for example, I remember. So I'm from Retreat. It's in the southern suburbs of Cape Town, with the last point on the Cape Flats line, right?
Yeah.
And then it intersects to go straight to town or Cape Flats. And then what happens is I go perform in OBS and I'm speaking, and it's students. And I come to Melbourne, to Joburg, students, lekker crowd, but I'm speaking about dicing and illegal drag racing. But these are slang words that people from these areas go, what on earth are you saying? And
Yeah.
then you realize, oh, I got to work on that muscle to start adapting accordingly.
I was
Right.
lost as well.
Yeah. So
What's dicing?
dicing is illegal street drag
Driving
racing.
a car really fast
Yeah.
at night.
Like
late.
Fast and the Furious.
No.
Or spinning. Okay.
No. So
Mm-mm.
spinning
That's different.
is different.
Oh.
So imagine Fast and the Furious, but
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Gotcha.
just realized this morning I am actually colored.
you are.
I just realized that I've been living a lie.
What can your name be? Gareth.
I don't know. Yeah,
Gareth is nice. Yeah.
Gareth could work.
Gareth could work. If
Yeah.
you're from Cape Town, you're from Milnerton. Yeah.
But you have to say Minleton.
Milnerton. There we go. You see, you know.
See,
you know.
My credit's good.
Welcome, bro.
All right.
Nice.
Listen, dude, we want to come and see your show. Give us some details there again.
So I kick off at Theatre on the Square in Johannesburg.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, it's in Sandton from 1 to 5 October. And then I'm off to Durban the 12th, Paul the 19th. And then we go Bega, East London, and then Cape Town from 19th
Jeez,
to 30th.
you are busy. Well
Yeah,
done.
so enjoying all the cities. And then I'll add on to that Kimberley, Bloom, go Garden Group, more cities.
Don't worry. Those little towns is a
You're
waste of
evil.
time. In fact, Durban, you're wasting your time because people never do anything.
Robbie
Durban, they don't.
Williams, that's always the thing
I
with
will
Durban.
never forget that. I was emceeing that concert, dude.
Okay, well, wow.
I had to introduce Robbie Williams, and there's like 400 people in the fucking stadium. I'm like, yeah, Robbie Williams.
On his world tour.
Yeah.
Durban will keep you humble.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, cuz, you're going to vibe posse, no flops.
No.
That's a full sentence in Durban. And if you've never experienced it before, you are confused.
Hectic.
Wild.
All right. I love it. Dalen, thanks for coming to see us, dude.
Thanks for letting me hang out. I
Very nice to
appreciate
see
it.
you. Yeah, you must come and do it again.
Pleasure. I'll see you in Randburg.
You got the stamp of approval.
Yes. I'll see
You're
you
going
in
to take some
Randburg.
people dicing.
Bring your camping chair.
Okay.
Very
and cooler
good.
box.
And no more mid-rand, guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we're going to have plates, right?
I'll bring
Real plates, not
Yes,
paper
real
plates.
Thank you.
So do I leave now? How does this work? Or do I stand and look at you guys?
No. It's Judith says, happy Friday, everyone. If it's cold on your side, keep warm and remember to stay away from fake news. Good show. Okay, well, thank you, Judith. Now that you've said that, we can complete our day. So very good. That's a great way to end the show. Everybody behave yourself, and we will see you on Monday at 6 a.m. Bye.